Broberg defends a 2-on-1. Wood in center shot. Save, but the rebound bounces in. And Steven Stamkos will put the Predators on top 1-0.
Soft.
Shot. What a save. Rebound. Nashville 2-0. Right on the doorstep. Stamkos again.
Soft in front of their net and give good players time and space to score goals or second chances. And
Predators clear. Create a 2-on-1. Evangelista down low. Forsberg score. 4-1 Nashville.
that's how we keep on giving up as many goals as we are.
Out there for a full minute. Second period woes continuing to rear its head against the Blues. Here's a shot deflected. Tap in, score. Predators get it back. It's 6-2.
The last two games we've been not hard enough at either net front. And we're not boxing out at our net front. The physicality and our D-zone coverage the last two games has really dissipated.
Oh, boy. Blues lose 7-2 on the road in Nashville last night. Here we go, boys. Choo-choo. Let the excuse trains roll. What is it?
You got any excuses?
Are they tired?
They're hurt.
Too many
They're hurt.
games in too few days. It's the injuries. It's the goalie. What is it this time, Alex? What is it? What am I supposed to do to explain away that crap-ass
I
performance?
don't know why
from
you're
last night?
attacking me here. Did you not listen to the post game?
I didn't.
I
I was watching the football game. If you want me to be fully candid.
We have a moment of honesty. I didn't watch the third period.
I wasn't listening to the post game either, to be honest with you guys. I don't.
What was that?
I don't know
dude?
what excuses you're looking for from me. There's no excuses on it. I can make excuses why they only scored 2 goals because you had 4 guys in the AHL in the lineup that started the season. You want me to make an excuse for why they gave up 7 goals? I'm not the person to come to. Braden Shen told you why. I mean, 7 goals, 4 of them to Steven Stamkos, which, by the way, that's the second time this year they've given up 4 goals to one player in a game. It's the 18th time that they've had a player on hat trick watch this season against them.
YouTube chat says, guys, if you take away Stamkos' goals, though, the Blues only lose 3-2.
Oh,
There
that's
you go.
fair. Yeah.
I don't know if that's an excuse. That's more of a fact.
Boy, that's a sad fact.
It means take
He
away
scored
one
4
player.
goals. Take away all of those, he's still loose.
Yeah,
Ouch.
but it's a 1-goal game. And I
That's
guess
a
we're
bad
talking about
loss.
that a little bit differently, aren't we? I mean, there's no excuses for it. You got called soft, and you were soft. I mean, of the 7 goals that were scored, 6 of them were the Blues choosing not to use their physicality to keep players away from the front of the crease. Nashville scored 6 of their goals standing in the paint. 4 of those goals were from an initial shot that was saved by the goaltender, and then the player that took the initial shot was just like, oh, cool, second chance. I'm going to score here. I mean, you watched Nashville stand in front of the net, pick up their own rebounds. You watched them skate through the neutral zone and create an odd man rush and then a breakaway without stick checking or using your body to check them. Standing in front of the net, backdoor tap-ins. I mean, anybody who wants to blame the goaltender on that one, you need to get your head checked because that was not Jordan Bennington.
Oh, tone.
That was, no, there's no tone
Coach,
there.
man, he pulled him.
Yeah, I'm sure you're going to get into that one, right?
I promise you we will.
Money bags, but this one has everything to do with, once again, the effort of the players. And, I mean, I don't have to defend me saying that because I think Braden Shen said it best after the game last night.
Let's go ahead and take a listen to what Braden Shen, the captain of the Blues, had to say and how he describes that loss.
Soft in front of our own net, soft in front of their net, and give good players time and space to score goals or second chances, and leaving Binner out to hang out to dry on some, and that's how we keep on giving up as many goals as we are right now.
All right, Alex. So in a 7-day stretch, the Blues played in 5 games. So maybe that's part of the explanation for it, excuse, whatever you want to call it. It is interesting to me that over those 7 games, at the front portion of it, their head coach called them out for a lack of effort. And on the back portion of it, their captain called them out for being soft. So in a 7-day stretch, you were called out for a lack of effort and for playing soft. I can't imagine worse descriptions for a professional hockey player. Soft and lack of effort? Dude, those are things you control. Those are things that you get to go out there and dictate. If you lack finishers, that would be understandable. Look at the personnel that's out there right now. Let's be real. If you lack the ability to play in front of your own net because you just don't have the ability, or you're Logan Mailloux and you're young and you make mistakes, or you're Kaskamaki and you're making mistakes, and you're Dvorsky and you're hitting that rookie wall right now, all of this is understandable. A lack of effort, a lack of physicality, you get to dictate those terms on the ice, and they're choosing not to go out there and play hard. Oh boy, that I struggle with. That I can't easily explain right now. And when you're getting called out by your coach and your captain, I feel like it's more than fair for us to discuss it here today, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, and look, some of these, the first 2 goals that Nashville scored that Stamkos got, that was that Kaskamaki, Humaging, Sundqvist line that was stuck out there. So, look, I can explain those because there's some young mistakes. 2 of those goals started in the offensive zone. The Blues turned the puck over, and the Nashville Predators get the odd man rush the opposite direction. But the hard part for me when I'm trying to explain those is what about on the defensive side? Because I know everybody's target, the scratching post is Logan Mailloux. Logan Mailloux was on the ice for 1 goal against last night, and there were 7 of them that were scored. So, that's Parayko, that's Fowler, that's Broberg, that's Falk, which Broberg I'll take out of this conversation. Guy played 26 minutes. He was on the ice for 2 goals against, but then picked up 2 assists and got back to a neutral on the ice. But when you're allowing these players to just out-muscle you in front of the net, there's no X's and O's that we can break down from what the Blues are lacking. This isn't a young player issue to where, yes, Dalibor Dvorsky's tied up with Stamkos in front of the net. Sorry, pup, you're going to lose that battle, at least for now. Logan Mailloux probably shouldn't because you're stronger, I would imagine, but still, that's a 15-year vet versus a guy who's playing his first year in the league. But, man, there was a play last night where Philip Forsberg just skates through the neutral zone, gets in front of Robert Thomas, and just goes straight to the net. There was another play where the forward isn't back-checking in the middle of the neutral zone, and the Nashville Predators player takes it right in, goes straight to the goaltender, takes the shot, picks up his own rebound, and puts it in the net. This has nothing to do if they were healthy or not healthy. This has everything to do with the willingness to out-battle that opponent that has the puck. And that, problematically, is an issue we brought up 6-7 times. I feel like after every loss, somebody is tweeting me saying, "Where's this one rank in the power rankings, Ferrario, of worst losses this season?"
How long's your power ranking?
Right now,
list?
it's at 7. I can't even put that one on there because it's like that was just.
It would be easier to rank the wins because there are only 11 of them.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
They've played in 32 games and they've won 11 games. Somebody on the text line, by the way, from the 573 said, "Here comes BK's Blues bashing bit. The difference is Nashville's veterans are leading the way and the kids are following. Blues top players all the way down to Binner are not playing up to par. Soros is making the difficult saves. Why isn't Binner?" Blues bashing bit. What do you want me to do? You want me to talk about how great they are? Right now, if the season ended today, they would have the 3rd overall selection in the NHL draft. Somebody on the text line said Blues lost to the worst team in the NHL last night. No, bro. The Blues lost to a team that is better than them on the season. We've got to be real about this, guys. The St. Louis Blues are a bad hockey club right now. I don't know where they will be in January, but right now, the only teams with a worse points percentage than your Blues are Vancouver and Calgary. That's it. So, yes, they lost to a bad club last night because the Blues are also bad. The Blues, this is what I was saying going into this stretch. This was an opportunity for them. They went into a stretch where they were expected to play Nashville 3 times over the next 2.5 weeks. Those are opportunities you should take advantage of. Just like you should take advantage of playing against Winnipeg and playing against Chicago, who's not playing up to the same level that they were early in the season. You know what the other teams are saying? Nashville, for example. This is a big stretch that we've got to take advantage of because we get to play one of the worst teams in the NHL, the St. Louis Blues, 3 times in the next 15 days. That's what they were saying in Nashville. The Blues are that team now. That's what they have become until proven otherwise. And it's not just that they're hurt. It's not just that they're playing young guys. It's not just that the goalies have been bad this year, which they have been. It's everything. Their veterans aren't good enough. Their goalies haven't been good enough. Their young players make mistakes. They've tried switching up the scheme defensively. They give up 7 goals. They give up 5 goals. They give up 5 against Boston, not once, but twice. It's everything. The whole thing feels rotten right now, and I hope it gets turned around. I would love to watch good hockey again. It's far more enjoyable for me to A, watch these games when they're winning, and B, talk about them when they're winning. I prefer it. I promise you. It's way more fun to go out to Enterprise Center in April and then in May, and we get to go out there, Alex, and do the pre-post intermissions together for the Blues and the playoffs. I love doing that stuff.
Alex would welcome you now.
It's one of my favorite jobs that we do here on the station. I can't imagine a scenario where that's happening this year. I can't imagine a scenario. Far more likely is them selling off their assets and going even further into this rebuild as opposed to accelerating.
Well, and you said it's rotten to its core, and that, I think, is the biggest issue if you're a Blues fan right now, because I don't know what the light at the end of the tunnel is there. I mean, when you get some bodies back, you get to see Snuggerud back at some point. That's the development you want to see. Kyrou, when he comes back, sure provides offense. But, man, I mean, to now say that the play was soft and to have effort questioned multiple times this season, this isn't something that you just bide your time and it figures itself out. I mean, you're 32 games into the season right now. You're in the middle of December. I mean, you're at the point now where if this hasn't gotten, Jim Montgomery said it 3 weeks ago, December 1st is when you know what you have as a team. You're 11 days past that, and you've had effort and softness questioned in 5 games. Like,
yes, since then, you found out exactly who you are.
You've lost 4 of your last 6.
This isn't something,
3 of them ugly.
This isn't something that the players can continue to say, oh, well, we feel like it's coming. No, it's not coming. Like, what's coming is what should be coming, I would imagine, is some type of move by Doug Armstrong, because this isn't one of those scenarios where, well, they're going to have to dig themselves out of this hole. Unfortunately, they're digging themselves in the hole. It's just going deeper and deeper and deeper, because Joey talks about this all the time, man. When losing gets into the locker room, that stink doesn't come out. And right now it stinks in there. And I don't know how to pull themselves out of that.
And it's not just the hockey gear. Alongside Alex and T-Bone, I'm BK. It's BK and Ferrario.
A lot of good
here on
trainers
101 ESPN. 314-399-9646. That's the Air Comfort Service text line to get involved in the show. We will have Ask Us Anything coming up at 11:45. So if you guys have any questions, sports or otherwise, we'll get into those coming up the end of this hour. You can always check us out on YouTube as well at youtube.com/101ESPN-STL. That's where the Graveyard Chat is off and running today. It's 11:15. Your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Before we get to the NFL game from last night and talk a little bit about the Bucs, who are in some serious trouble right now, can I ask you one quick thing about that game, Alex?
Sure, buddy.
I wanted to save it to the end because ultimately it doesn't really matter in the bigger picture.
It matters to you.
It mattered a lot to me as a part of my underdog picks from last night because I had Jordan Bennington higher on saves.
Maybe that's why you did it, like Pete Carroll kicking that field goal.
Needed 25 saves from him. Unfortunately, he only got to 19 because A, he gave up 6 goals, and B, he was pulled in the third period. He was asked yesterday, Jim Montgomery was, why he made that decision, and then he went into how they gave up a bunch of goals and how they they were soft in front of their own net effectively. He didn't say it in those words, but that's more or less what he said, which doesn't help me really understand why he made the decision. They have a back-to-back. If they weren't playing again until Saturday or Sunday, I would have totally understood pulling Jordan Bennington last night. Hey, man, this is not your fault, but let's switch things up here. You're not getting any help. There's no reason for you to further hurt your numbers on the season when the team's clearly not giving you a chance. So let's switch things up here. That's cool. I get that. That's not the situation. They have a back-to-back. They play again tonight, and my expectation is that Joel Hofer will be playing tonight. So we finished the game yesterday, played 20 minutes on the ice in a game that you had no chance of winning. If the game was 4-2 when he comes in, all right, I get that as well. It wasn't. It wasn't within reach for the Blues. It was 6-2 when they went into that third period. They had no chance of winning. Why make the switch in net? What's the point of doing that other than making things harder for you tonight when you have to go back to Joel Hofer? I just don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. And Joel Hofer's probably starting on Monday, I would assume, against Nashville again. So you gave them 20 minutes of – it's basically like going to your closer in a 8-2 game in the playoffs when they see you again the next night. So you just gave them a free look against your closer. I don't understand it at all.
Yeah, I don't either. I thought that was a game that you just let the goalie wear it. There could be a ton of different reasonings behind it, which won't make any sense to us. Did they want to get Binnington out of there before it got worse and before, Binnington lost his cool? Because there was one scenario where I think somebody poked at him and he stood up and he kind of shoved the player down because his team wasn't defending in front of him, so he had to do it himself.
Theory. Yeah.
Is there a scenario that they go right back to Binnington tonight? Because, they always judge a goalie's usage as, well, how much work did he do? And, I mean, let's be honest, Binnington didn't have to do a whole lot of work in that game because didn't see a whole lot of shots in the first 2 periods before they pulled him out of there. So,
dude, Benner has appeared in 21 of the 32 games.
That's why it's hard for me. That's why it's hard for me to believe, because I know for a fact David Alexander says that when Binnington gets worn down, that's when he's at his worst.
And that's part of what has been snowballing up, because they've done this multiple times now with weird kind of
It's
pulls.
the 5th pull, and 3 of the pulls have been Binnington, and Hofer's been pulled twice. The other reasoning that could be behind it is, did they feel like that was just the warm-up for Hofer so that he's ready to go tonight? I don't really know, to be honest with you.
Does that help you to get 20 minutes last night and then you go back to
You're
him
not
tonight?
skating.
You're playing 80 minutes of hockey.
You're
over the
not
2
skating
days?
today, so you're not going to see any pucks. Maybe they wanted to see a few pucks before the game tomorrow. Again, I don't know if any of these reasonings make sense to us, because I would have just said the goalie's going to have to wear this one. But
Yeah.
I mean, Binnington's appeared in a lot of games. Maybe you just didn't need that one to get any more out of hand than it already did. But it was a weird decision, I'll say that. And I'm not going to sit here and say it's the reason the game got even more out of hand. I mean, 1 goal got given up, but it was one of those that's like, why would you want to work Hofer in this one when you know you're going to have to use him here? But I would expect Hofer to get this start and then Hofer to get the start against the Nashville Predators on Monday.
Harrison's brother, Master, on the text line said, you can't leave Benner in there to give up 10 goals. 100% the right decision. Why not?
It's like having a reliever that comes in and
might be the mental side of it. That's the David Alexander says, look, you lose Jordan Binnington's mind, and this is a game where it could get too out of hand, and then we have to recoup Jordan Binnington.
I mean, he had already given up 6 in 2 periods.
Well, I just mean it would have gotten uglier for Binnington. The antics may come out, and then all of us are complaining about the antics, and then everyone's thinking Jordan Binnington. Then you go into a deep hole.
Saving him from himself.
Yeah, then you go into a deep hole of him struggling. You'll be like, oh, see, this isn't Binnington. You just pull him out of there before it gets worse. And also, it's a statement to the team. It's a statement to the team saying, look, we've got a back-to-back. Now Hofer has to play in this game and tomorrow's game because you guys played poorly tonight.
I think they know the statement.
Yeah.
Like, you lost 7-2 last night, and your captain came out and said we lacked we were soft. Like, I don't think they need a statement of pulling the goalie when they can just look up at the scoreboard and see we have no chance of winning.
But it's the only weapon that the coach has in a game. It's the only weapon, or sitting guys, and he kind of did.
I don't think it matters anymore. We're way past sending a message.
I totally get it, but
the message has been sent by them having the 3rd best odds for the number 1 overall.
Totally get it.
That's the message.
You asked for reasoning, and that's typically what coaches do with it.
I think that the thing that you said that at least resonates with me most is they were fearful that Binnington was going to do something that you can't come back from. So he was going to do something on the ice that would have been a problem. If that is how they felt, and they were reading the room and they were like, hey, we got to get him out of this game. That at least I can understand. That to me makes some sense.
I would be interested if Benner just gets the call again tonight. That'd be wild. It would be really wild.
I think that would be a mistake.
Probably would, especially after that outing. Maybe Binnington gets the game against Nashville and you look for revenge like Hofer did against Utah.
And I agree it wasn't his fault last night. He's not your best goalie right now.
No.
And that's why you have to go
We've been saying this for
Hofer.
weeks.
Yeah, you have to go
Hofer
Hofer
struggled
tonight.
his last start too, though. This is just a team right now that it doesn't matter who's in
If I
that.
told you right now, who do you feel more comfortable with him between the pipes?
It's Hofer.
Easily Hofer.
Exactly. And that's why to me you got to go
I'm
back.
just saying, both have had their struggles lately. This is a whole unit on the ice that's playing poorly. It's not one guy or the other.
It's a good point. It doesn't matter if we're being real. It doesn't matter who starts.
Yeah, we're
in that.
selling.
Yeah, they're just not a good hockey club. All right, he's Alex. That's T-Bone on BK. Coming up in about 15 minutes, we'll talk about Mizzou last night. Ooh, boy, you want to talk about bad. Mizzou basketball. Ooh, not good.
Is there
we'll
good
talk
coming
about
at some point in
their
this show?
scheduling.
We'll
We will
Cardinals.
also talk about
Is that good?
whether or not Dennis Gates missed once again in the transfer portal. But next, NFL had some interesting action last night. I talked to the Fast Lane guys after our show, Alex. I was curious, hey, Any chance you guys would take the Falcons in this game? Everybody unanimously said, no, free win. We'll just take the Bucs. Well, so much for that. We'll talk about it next year on 101 ESPN.
The Spread Zone, where sports betting meets reckless optimism, questionable logic, and the occasional stroke of genius. With hosts Anthony Stalter, Tim McKernan, and Scott Rizzuto. Check out the latest from the Spread Zone at 101ESPN.com or the 101 mobile app. The Spread Zone is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more. Broadcasting live from the Centene Community Ice Center inside the E&B Granite Studios. This is BK and Ferrario on 101 ESPN. Presented by Bud Light and Skimmers Original Vodka Iced Tea on 101 ESPN.
Alongside Alex and T-Bone, I'm BK. It's BK and Ferrario here on 101 ESPN. That was a weird game last night. Not talking about the Blues. Let's get to the
Talking
NFL.
Blues, I thought it was a weird one too, man. Probably an anomaly. Won't happen again.
The Falcons beat the Bucs 29-28. And this was a game, Alex, that I thought was over early in the fourth quarter when the Bucs scored that touchdown to go up 28-14. It seemed over to me, at least. I don't know if you guys felt the same way. Alex, I know you were a little busy. You were watching the...
No. I was watching a little bit.
This is a trend for the Bucs. This feels very similar to what we saw a couple of years ago with the Eagles. Now, they don't have the same track record as that Eagles team did where they had some success, but man, in their last 6 games now, they're 1-5. The one win came in a 3-point victory at home against the Arizona Cardinals. They've now lost back-to-back games against the Saints and the Falcons. Again, both of those games coming at home for Tampa Bay. They were healthy last night. Like, they had all of their receivers back on the field for the first time really all season long. Mike Evans was awesome for them. Chris Godwin had a couple of big plays in the red zone, had that 2-point conversion as well.
Lucky Irving was good.
Bukin had a really nice night. Jalen McMillan made a couple of plays early in that game. The offense scored 28 points. I mean, that's not a bad performance. The Falcons defense has been a little better lately. They just gave up 375 through the air to Kirk Cousins, man. Kyle Pitts, the ghost of Kyle Pitts, who has done nothing really over the last few years. He goes for 166 yards through the air when they have no other real weapon. David Sills, who was a quarterback in college, he was their number 2 receiving weapon in that game.
Taysom Hill 2.0.
What's going on with the Bucs, Alex? Maybe this is the better way to frame it. Was that a story about the Bucs last night or the Falcons?
I think it was a story of the Bucs.
Okay, glad we are on the same.
I mean,
was that a question?
I mean, this has kind of been the Bucs all season, though, right? Like, defensively, they have not been great. I know they've had games that they showed a little bit, but we're talking about earlier in the season against the Saints, they gave up 3 yards. Against the 49ers, or I guess the corpses of the 49ers when they were injured, gave up 19 yards. But, like, they've always been a team that their offense is going to fight for them and pull them into games, right? They won a lot early on because of Baker Mayfield, but their defense has laid eggs almost every single week, at least the last 4 or 5. So this to me is like, Bucs, you're not a playoff team anymore. Like, you could sneak in, and we've all seen Baker Mayfield win football games that he just truly shouldn't have won, mostly because of his will. But that defense is just continuing to put them behind an 8 ball. So I had no takeaway on the Falcon side. Cool, congrats on that win. You still aren't a playoff team. But for the Buccaneers, man, you might lose to the Panthers. The Panthers defense at least can make stops.
I expect them to lose at least one of those 2.
I mean, the Panthers defense makes stops. And, like, can Bryce Young make one play to win? Probably. So, yeah, this told me everything I need. I mean, Buccaneers defense is just bad.
Do they consider making a change
at head coach? I think you have to consider with this kind of a collapse, it's coming down the home stretch here.
Isn't he a defensive-minded coach, too?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's a big driving force for it, too. Now, the problem is again, we talked about this yesterday, who's the candidate you're going to go out there and hire? Like, it's hard to find who the guys you bring in to really take you to that next step.
I think that would be a great hire for them.
Oh, no,
you don't believe that.
No, I don't, but as a Chiefs fan, I would like him to be gone.
The Chiefs should fire Andy Reid, and then the Bucs can hire Andy Reid.
But, I mean, yeah, you have to consider it. And I would also add this. I think we got thrown off the scent of the Bucs a little bit because we talk about them as they're 7-7, and yes, they've collapsed in the home stretch. Let's go back to early on in the season for the Buccaneers because – remember, we were talking about, hey, they're a fun, high-flying offense. They had to have a great comeback win against the Falcons and Texans on the road. They nearly blew the game at home to the Jets, where they were up big, gave up 21 unanswered points in the 4th, and then drove down late to end up getting points to win that football game. Like, they could easily be, if they didn't have those comeback wins early on in the season, a team that we're talking about with the same record as the Falcons and saying that Thursday game meant nothing for them, in period.
Yeah, I feel like the game that really made me a believer was when they went on the road at Seattle and won that one 38-35.
And they were without a weapon in that game, weren't they?
Yeah, I think Evans was out in that one, if I'm remembering correctly in terms of the timing of it all. That one and then them beating the 49ers. But that 49ers team was completely banged up at the time. They didn't have Juwan Jennings. They didn't have George Kittle. They didn't have Brock Purdy. Their defense was a disaster at that point in time. So I think maybe the place for me that I would go is like I saw them beat Seattle again on the road. That's a tough place to play, and we've seen how good Seattle has been this season. And when I saw that, I became a believer. Maybe it was just, hey, weird stuff happens occasionally in the NFL, and it was a result that didn't indicate how good they are. If you flipped that there, and it was a 50-50 game, it was a 3-point game, they're 6-8 right now. And we're not talking about them as any kind of a real contender. We're talking about them as an afterthought in the NFC's playoff picture right now. It's that, and it's their division. If they were in another division in the NFC, we wouldn't be talking about them right now, because every other division, they would be like third.
Yeah.
I mean, they'd be last right now in the NFC North. They'd be third in the NFC East, and they'd be between the 49ers and the Cardinals in the NFC West. So it's their division that's keeping them alive, because none of these teams are particularly good right now. So I believe more in the Panthers than I do the Bucs. I agree with you guys.
Yeah,
I think they're a slightly better football
I believe
team.
that division should just forfeit a spot and give it to somebody else.
I think I believe more in the playoff format than I do in either of those teams.
I'd rather watch.
Because that means the Panthers get in, and I don't know how much I trust them. And I did see them just beat the Rams, who I think is the best in the NFC, but I think that's what you were saying in the last.
I would fully expect them to lose that first round playoff.
Exactly.
I would rather watch the Lions, Bears, and Packers in the playoffs than watch one team from the NFC South make it.
Yeah, I agree.
I like the format.
Kinda like
I do
the
think
AFC North.
It's reasonable to have that
Change the format,
division,
am I right?
But
No, I keep the format. I'm with the format.
I like the format.
And keep them at home, by the way. Don't make them go on the road. They earned it by winning that crappy division.
You know why T-Bone likes it? Because he knows there's a pretty decent chance that his team will be playing the Panthers in the first round this year.
Yeah, congrats on that win.
He's cool with getting that road going back on the road to Carolina. This time around, they're going to win, right?
Two easy little buys, potentially. Oh, you're saying we don't even win our division? Oh, yeah, then that too. We'll take care of business there.
He's T-Bone. That's Alex. I'm BK. It's BK and Ferrario here on 101 ESPN. We'll get into these games a little bit more coming up in the 1 o'clock hour, but a really compelling Sunday slate. Couple of games in the 12 o'clock slate. Chargers at the Chiefs. Chiefs are wildly a 5.5-point favorite at home in that one. It's more or less an elimination game for the Chiefs officially this time around. Bills are traveling to the Patriots. Bills are a slight favorite on the road in that one. If they lose, they are effectively eliminated from AFC East contention. Still a playoff team, but out of the AFC East divisional race. The Packers are on the road at the Broncos. Packers are a slight favorite in that one as well. And then the Lions are on the road at the Rams. If the Rams lose that one, Lions still very much alive to potentially overtake them in the NFC playoff race as well. Big game in the NFC side of things. So a really interesting weekend for the NFL. In 15 minutes, we'll get into Ask Us Anything. But next, Mizzou basketball is facing two issues right now. One, in relation to what it did in the offseason. Another, in relation to how it schedules its opponents. We'll tell you about them next here on 101 ESPN.
Jamie Rivers here, and it is time for another one of my jersey giveaways. And how about this month? None other than Robert Thomas. It's a blue jersey signed by Robert Thomas. It's awesome. It's going to look great on you or look great on your wall. Get entered to win that autographed Thomas jersey right now at 101ESPN.com or on your 101 ESPN mobile app. Jamie's jersey giveaway is presented by St. Luke's, ranked top 2% in the nation for cardiac surgery by Health Grades. Visit stlukes-stl.com.
Tanner Hendrickson here in Missouri. Your moment is finally here because DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is now live in your state. Now, you can make every game even more exciting with same-game parlays, money lines, props, and more, all from your phone, all safe, secure, and easy to use. And right now, new Missouri customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. No waiting, no nonsense, just pure action powered by America's top-rated sportsbook app. I got in on the action last night. I ended up taking on the money line the Falcons to win that football game, and I'll be getting in on the action all weekend long for the NFL slate and betting on my Illini as well as they take on Nebraska this weekend in college hoops. So join me and download that DraftKings Sportsbook app and use my promo code TANNER. That's code TANNER as new Missouri customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. That's code TANNER The crown is yours in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
This is Matthew Joseph, and it's game day on your home of the Blues 101 ESPN.
Blues Game Day on 101 ESPN is presented by Buffalo Wild Wings, the ultimate arena for wings and wins. 101 ESPN Sports Center.
Preds pounce on Bennington. I'm Bradford Bruns. Your Sports Center update is powered by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Last night at Bridgestone Arena, Nashville pounded St. Louis 7-2. Steven Stamkos enjoying his second career 4-goal game, while Blues netminder Jordan Bennington was pulled after allowing 6 goals through 2 periods. The Note will return to Enterprise Center about 7 hours from now for a 7 p.m. puck drop versus 4th place Chicago. NFL Atlanta stuns Tampa Bay 29-28, overcoming 19 penalties. Our Sunday tripleheader consisting of Browns, Bears, Lions, Rams, as well as Vikings, Cowboys. College-wise, Boise State's battle against Washington helps begin a bowl season tomorrow. Mizzou also receives its 2026 schedule featuring 7 home dates. This Sports Center update has been presented by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
This is BK and Ferrario on 101 ESPN, broadcasting live from the EMP Granite Studios at the Centene Community Ice Center, presented by Bud Light and Skimmer's Original Vodka Iced Tea on 101 ESPN.
Mizzou basketball has 2 pretty significant issues right now. Well, 3 really. 1, they're not very good.
That seems pretty big.
That's part of it.
Did you forget that one when you were going through these?
I don't know if you need the other 2. That's the first one.
I mean, I think the other 2 are probably going to web out of what the first one is.
So that's their biggest issue.
It's like saying the Blues' biggest issue right now is allowing goals.
Yeah.
The goaltender's not saving and defense isn't playing well.
They also have another one. They don't score goals.
That's
so
true.
You add them
That's
together,
true.
it's not
And
great.
those would all weave into they're not good.
All right, coming up next.
Missouri, they score a lot of points. Kind of been the thing under Dennis Gates. They do that thing where they shoot the basketball and it goes in a lot of the time. It's very bare bones basic analysis, but it's important. They do that well. They don't stop the opposition from scoring very often. And last night, that was once again the case when they played against Alabama State.
Oh, you would have made this better if you just would have not put the state in.
Yeah, so Alabama State is 3-7 on the season. To give you some context on how they have arrived at that record, Alex, they lost by 37 at Florida State. They lost by 15 at SIUE.
Oh,
I've heard they're a gauntlet.
Yeah. They lost by 13 against UT Martin.
Oh.
And last night at Mizzou, they lost by 8. 85-77.
Good teams win. Great teams what, T-Bone?
yeah, cover.
So that's not great. Mizzou has basically 3 players that they trust right now. It's Anthony Robinson, Mark Mitchell, Jacob Cruz. Last year, the Tigers did a pretty darn good job in the transfer portal. 2 of those players that I just mentioned came last year via the transfer portal. The problem is 2 of the last 3 seasons, they have basically struck out in the portal, man. They struck out that first year when they went 0-19. And they seem to have struck out this year. Because Sean Phillips, I liked what I saw from him in the first couple of games. That guy is not a high major starting caliber center. And that's been an issue for Mizzou every year under Dennis Gates. They just don't have a center that they trust. Luke Northweather, decent find, honestly, if he was like the 10th guy in the rotation. Unfortunately for them, he's their 6th man most nights. Javon Porter can't play. Sebastian Mack can't play. They've got a lot of problems on this roster, and it's all going back to what they did in the portal this past offseason. So that's part of it. And the other thing, I hate the way that they schedule. I absolutely hate it. They play against a bunch of teams that I don't care about and that every team across the country would laugh at if they played them. They had the one game against Minnesota. All right, kudos to you for scheduling that. They're required to play an ACC game. They played against Notre Dame. They're required to play Kansas every year, so they played Kansas and got whooped. They're required to play Illinois. They'll play Illinois, and they'll probably get whooped in that one as well.
It's not even really fun, T-Bone, because it's not competitive.
I hate the scheduling. I don't like the way that they went about their transfer portal quest this past offseason, and they're not very good. Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, the play was pretty good.
Yeah. I don't know what to say about them because I think you're right. I don't think they're a very good basketball team. And I think a lot of people right now probably on the text line without looking at it are probably like, well, aren't they 8-2? Yeah, they're 8-2 because of what BK said, their scheduling, right? It's one thing to put a couple cupcakes on your schedule. Every team does that to kind of help you have a game that you can just work with your guys with. Like Brad Underwood's done this year. Jackson State, Florida Gulf Coast, Colgate, Long Island, UT Rio Grande. They've also got another one, Southern, coming up. But what Brad Underwood adds to their schedule and what I love about what he does, now sometimes I think he goes a little overboard in scheduling good opponents, but what he does is he wants to make them tougher for conference play because the Big Ten is a deep conference, just like the SEC is going to be deep this year. Maybe not as deep as it was a year ago, but still pretty deep conference. So what's he do? He schedules games against Texas Tech, Alabama, UConn, Tennessee, add in, I guess, Missouri to that list. Like, I love the fact that he's willing to do that. That way he can challenge his guys before they get to conference play. Dennis Gates, what's he challenging his guys on? You mentioned the one game that they did that wasn't a pre-scheduled one already with Minnesota that was added to their schedule. I could have told you at the beginning of the year Minnesota was not going to be a good team to add to your schedule because they were terrible last year.
At least with that, like, that's fine. I'm fine with you scheduling Minnesota. I have no issues with that whatsoever. But that can't be the only game. Like Gator is in our YouTube chat. He said, are you talking about Illinois or Florida? Florida this year is 5-4. Their record does not look impressive. Now, allow me to explain how they got to that record. They played against Arizona, lost by 6. They played against TCU, a top 60 team, lost by 4. They played against Duke, lost by 1. They played against UConn, lost by 4. This is not a bad team. By Ken Palm's metrics, they're a top 15 team in the country. They're 5-4. college basketball, unlike college football, rewards you for playing these games. The committee will look at this at the end of the season, and they will see, okay, you had 4 losses in the non-conference. They're not going to penalize Florida for that. If Florida goes roughly 500 in conference play or slightly above that, they're getting into the tournament. Now, maybe it'll affect them a bit on their seeding, but not a whole lot, because the committee looks at these things and they're like, hey, those are quality losses. You didn't lose to North Florida. You didn't lose to Merrimack. You're not going to lose to St. Francis. You had good games on your resume. You lost a few of them, but they were 50-50 coin flip games. You played against Duke, you lost by 1. In fact, that might actually be a point in favor of Florida
really good
by the end of the regular season. So those things can more often than not only hurt you or help you, not hurt you. And Florida's not alone in this regard. Again, going back to the KenPom rankings, Kansas is 7-3, St. John's 5-3, Tennessee 7-3, Kentucky 6-4. Every team that I just listed ranked among the top 20 right now in KenPom's rankings. You can schedule against high-level opponents and still be considered a really good basketball team. That is not always the case in college football. I understand, especially with the SEC moving to its 9 conference games, why teams would be like, no, we'll play one good non-conference foe. I understand it. I don't prefer it that way, but I get it. College basketball is different. You should be scheduling better than what Missouri is doing. I think it's really disappointing and disheartening that this is the way that Dennis Gates has gone about it. Also at a time when college basketball programs are asking so much out of their fans. They're asking you to go all of these games. They're asking you to fund the roster. And this is what they get in return prior to the start of January. That sucks, dude.
It also gives the players a false sense of confidence, too. When you have the success like Mizzou did early on, and then once you're going up against stiffer competition, it doesn't benefit your players. I mean, I think the transfer portal is a bigger piece of this also. I mean, that's 2 of the 3 years that Gates has struck out on this, and the biggest get in the portal has been what, Mark Mitchell for Dennis Gates?
I mean,
who's the
last
shooter
year
last
they
year?
were really good in the portal.
That's what I mean, 2 of the 3 years, but like the biggest name that they got was Mitchell, right?
Yeah, which is good. I mean, Mark Mitchell's been a great player.
He's been the reason that they're there. But I mean, the recruiting side of it seems like Gates is awesome at. He's got a couple of 5-stars.
They better do well next year.
How do you keep them, though? And that's the
well, you don't keep them.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I mean, this is
those
the problem
guys
with
go
it.
to the NBA the next year.
Yeah, we can say he's a good recruiter. I don't know how to grade his resume right now. Yes, he's got the top class in college basketball. If he doesn't win with it, though, how much does it really matter, right? And same with, the portal. As much as we talk about recruiting and we just talk about recruiting high schoolers, man, the portal's right there with it, if not more important. And as we've seen, I mean, BK, and you just brought it up, Alex, he's missed 2 of the 3 years. And the other thing, too, and this is more of a theory, a working theory than anything else. You know you're going in with a new roster every year so far with Dennis Gates, and he really attacks the portal hard. And as we've talked about, he's missed 2 or 3 times. Part of the reason I wonder that he's scheduling such easy non-conference games is because he doesn't trust what he has, and he thinks it's going to take time to build. Now, there's some argument for that. I could understand that. But Underwood does the same thing, right? Underwood has suddenly started to attack the portal. In fact, he's actually recruiting the Team Lithuania right now. So I don't understand that completely, because if you trust in your process and trust who you've recruited, I think you would want to put them up against some decent non-conference opponents to get them ready for it as the season goes along in conference play. And as BK brought up, it doesn't hurt you as much as it does in college football. College football, there is very limited window of how many losses you can have in a year. You've got, 10 to 12 losses in a season that you can play with in college basketball and still make the NCAA tournament.
And when you're in the SEC, which is a high level of conference right now, same thing's true from the Big Ten. You could go slightly above 500 in conference play, and at times even at 500 in conference play, and you can still make the tournament.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately the goal for a program like Mizzou. You've got 18 conference games. So you're going to lose 9 there, lose 4 or 5 in the non-conference slate. You could still make the tournament. So, yeah, I really dislike the way that they go about their scheduling. I also think it leads to just games that aren't interesting. Like, a lot of Mizzou fans probably didn't know that Mizzou played last night, because it just wasn't a game that even registered. Mizzou fans will check in for Notre Dame, for Kansas, for Minnesota. Maybe you watch a game or 2 here or there in the middle of the week because you got nothing else going on, no Blues on, whatever it may be. But other than that, there's just no reason to watch. These games aren't compelling, and that is something that I think they need to change. From the 314, guys, this is not a bad Mizzou team. Quit saying it, jackass.
They don't think it's a bad team?
They get Bethune-Cookman next.
They don't do anything at a super high level.
They beat Alabama State by 8.
They're a decent offensive team. I wouldn't say they're great. I think it's very similar, honestly, to that first Dennis Gates team that he had here with Kobe Brown, where they were flawed, but they ended up going to the NCAA tournament. I think that team might have even been a little better than this team is, though.
I think so. I think they have better offense.
Was a little better.
Yeah, the big thing for them is, like, if you don't have anything to go to offensively, you better be good defensively. And Mizzou is not good defensively, as we saw last night. And that's been a problem for Gates for 4 years now, running the program at Mizzou. Mm-hmm. The blessing for them that I would say for Mizzou, and I'm sorry, Texture, but this is not in favor of Mizzou. It is more of the conference they're in. The SEC is weaker this year. Now, not by a lot, but it is definitely weaker. If this Mizzou team was in last year's SEC, they might have been in for like a 2-3 win slate last year.
All right, coming up in about 15 minutes or so, I think the Cardinals might be able to fill a void that exists currently within the trade market. We'll describe that coming up in about 15 minutes. Mike McKenna, the former NHL goalie, he's joining us today, which means the Blues lost last night. So he'll join us coming up in the 12 o'clock hour as well. But next, 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line for Ask Us Anything Sports or otherwise. You're on 101 ESPN.
You can now listen to 101 ESPN on demand. Get caught up on all our shows and podcasts at 101ESPN.com or on the 101 mobile app. 101 ESPN podcasts are presented by the Schaefer Door Company.
Alex Ferrario with you to talk about my friends out at Ted Drew's famous frozen custard off of Chippewa, which is already celebrating the holiday season. So if you're still looking for that late last-minute Christmas tree or Christmas decorations for your home, for the party, well, it's time to get out to Ted Drew's frozen custard. They've been around serving community and unmatched quality service and hometown pride for generations. And that Christmas tree lot is open for the seasons with a selection of premium Christmas trees. They've got pine and fir trees. They've also got a lot of holiday greenery and decor where you could get handmade wreaths, you could get garland, mistletoe, so much more. But of course, it's while supplies last. So make sure you get out there sooner rather than later because the season continues to wind down. You want to get the best Christmas options that you have for your decor. Plus, while you're out there, check out the flavors that they have of Ted Drew's. Buy it in bulk, bring it home for the holiday season. All of those parties coming up. They have also got a new flavor alert, which is a coffee float. It's a bold, dark roast blend with 2 scoops of Ted's vanilla custard. But why stop there? If you're not into that coffee, then do the same with chocolate and make it a float. So get on out there off of Chippewa. Plus, check out their gift shop where you could shop your late last-minute Christmas shopping. Get some gift cards if you need them. Ted Drew's famous frozen custard, where tradition tastes great and the holidays feel right at home.
ESPN has your chance to win a 4-pack of passes to Monster Jam, January 17th and 18th at the Dome at America's Center. Get ready to cheer, scream, and be amazed as massive Monster Jam trucks and world champion drivers take over St. Louis for the ultimate day packed with high-flying action and jaw-dropping stunts. Get all the info and enter to score a free 4-pack of tickets for Monster Jam now at 101ESPN.com or on your 101 mobile app. Live from the Centene Community Ice Center inside the E&B Granite Studios, you're tuned into BK and Ferrario on 101 ESPN. Presented by Bud Light and Skimmer's Original Vodka Iced Tea on 101 ESPN. You've got questions, we may have the answers. Maybe. It's BK and Ferrario's Questions and Answers on 101 ESPN.
314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line for Ask Us Anything. If you guys have any questions, sports or otherwise, go ahead and get them in right now on the Air Comfort Service text line. From Harrison's brother, Master, Alex. Okay. I want to know why Stenberg and Lindstein aren't good enough to play on this hockey team.
I don't think it's aren't good enough. I think it's don't want to put them into this situation for how bad it is right now. I think they felt that Kaskamaki was further along in his development. He had an extra year of the AHL before Stenberg and Lindstein got there. Lindstein, you're not calling up in any situation. This is his first year playing over in North American hockey, and he's a defenseman. You're not putting him up into this spot. And frankly, you're not injured. Stenberg's a little surprising to me, but they decided to do Matt Luff and Hugh McGing because I don't think they're worried about their confidence being broken if this thing goes off the rails quickly. Whereas Stenberg's, he's kind of hit that second year pro wall that I think Dalibor Dvorsky's going through at the NHL level.
I think it's Stenberg hasn't earned it. I think that's part of it, right? I don't think this is we're protecting the player from the Blues situation, because look at the Thunderbirds. They're awful. They're not a good hockey team either. So I don't think there's anything to do with his confidence or anything. I think it is he hasn't played well enough that they thought it was worth calling him up to get playing time.
From the 314, do you see Missouri going any better than 4-5 in conference play next season?
You put 12-0 yesterday on Twitter. I saw it.
Thought it was a little
and you weren't taking questions, which is weird, man. You have to always accept questions.
No notes.
If Mo takes questions, you got to take questions.
I don't know how I could possibly project what Missouri's going to do in 2026 when I don't know what the roster is going to look like. I have no idea what the team's going to be. This is like going into the NFL's offseason prior to the draft and prior to free agency and being like, team's going to go 11-6 next year. Based on what? I have no idea who's going to be playing for them. So I can't predict it. I think the expectation on an annual basis is 8-4 for Mizzou. So that start there, and then we can work along off of that. That being said, if we do want to give a thought quickly on Mizzou's schedule, which was released yesterday, I love the fact that they switched the Arkansas game out of the final game of the regular season and put Oklahoma as Mizzou's new quote-unquote rivalry game. I think it's a much better fit for Mizzou. I'm sure Oklahoma fans will probably reject the idea that it's a true rivalry game because Texas is their legitimate rival. That's their number one. Totally get that. For Mizzou fans, this is the game that I would view as more of a rivalry than Arkansas. I view South Carolina, who's not even on Mizzou's schedule next year, as more of a rival than Arkansas, even though Arkansas has the trophy that they present at the end of the game. So I like the way that they did that. Other than that, though, the Texas-Georgia back-to-back, it's going to be pretty insane. November in general, Texas at Georgia, home against Kentucky, home against Oklahoma. That might be 3 top 15 opponents in the month of November. So it's not an easy schedule by any means. At Ole Miss is not going to be easy. Texas A&M as an annual opponent is not going to be easy. It's tough, but this is what it's going to look like when you have 9 conference opponents in the SEC.
I don't know the rosters yet, so you're right. I'll make my prediction of what's going to happen, okay? 3 non-con games. At Kansas will be difficult, but I think they can win that football game. I mean, it's Kansas. So they go 3-0. Mississippi State will still be in a rebuild, so they're 4-0 with a winning conference. The Gators' new coach rebuilding. They're 5-0, 2-0 in conference play. Everybody's all excited. We're talking about playoffs. And then the real schedule begins with A&M, at Ole Miss, Texas, Georgia, Oklahoma, and they go 7-5. And BK's like, it's fun. It was fun. Good season, good bowl game. And I was like, it's disappointing. We're 5-0. I can tell you what's going to happen.
Get yourself a quarterback. I'll believe 9 wins.
Yeah, that's fair.
Get yourself a quarterback, and I'll believe 9 wins. If you don't have a quarterback, 8.
By the way, I love the SEC taking it to LSU. You mentioned that flip of the rivalry. LSU's the one who now plays Arkansas to end the year, and that is like is that a rivalry at all?
I don't think so. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. Guys, if the Blues lose tonight, do you think they'll finish below 500? I don't know what tonight has to do with that, but yes, I do think that they are going to finish below 500 this year.
Yeah, it's hard for me to even believe they're going to go on some type of insane run at some point this season. I mean, there's just been zero consistency with this team all season long. So yeah,
there's been a lot of consistency. It's just not in a good way.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I mean, they've lost 21 of the 32 games in which they have played. When you're losing 2 out of every 3 games, there's consistency.
And your goal difference is what? Minus?
Consistently losing.
And your goal difference was minus 30 something?
Move on, Brandon.
You're not gonna admit that's consistency?
Move on, Brandon.
They're a minus 35, which is the worst goal differential in the NFL, or NHL rather. For context, next worst is the Vancouver Canucks at a minus 24. So they are 11 goals worse in their goal differential than the Vancouver Canucks. For context, the Montreal Canadiens are a minus 10, so roughly the same difference as the Blues to the Vancouver Canucks. The Montreal Canadiens on the season are 16, 11, and 3.
There's only 10 NFL teams with a worse point differential than that.
314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line for Ask Us Anything. Is T-Bone worried about the game against Nebraska this weekend, or is Wisconsin just that bad?
I'm a little worried about Nebraska. They're quietly at 10-0 coming into this matchup. And they like to, Underwood was speaking to the media as our show was starting. I saw a couple of his quotes. He said they want to try and slow them down offensively. So we'll see. It's the first Big Ten test for them at home. Ohio State was a solid squad. I'm a little worried about Nebraska for how quick they want to play. We saw the Illinois kind of struggle with that against Alabama.
Yeah, I don't think they're quite to the same degree as Alabama, but they play at a pretty good tempo. They're also very good defensively. At least so far this year, that there's an adjustment period with their schedule. This will be by far the best team that Nebraska has played so far this year. They shoot the lights out of the basketball. They take a ton of threes, and they're pretty efficient on them. So that's one thing that always kind of changes things up. They also give up a ton of threes. Like, their opponents are shooting more than 50% of their shots from beyond the arc. So I would expect a ton of 3-pointers in tonight's game between Illinois and
I like it a little better
Nebraska.
when we don't shoot the 3.
Well, I would assume that they're going to settle for quite a few.
Markovich, you are not a 3-point shooter, and don't think you are because you're playing Nebraska.
In 15 minutes, we'll get to our football pick'em. In 30 minutes, we'll talk to Mike McKenna, the former NHL goalie. But next, the Cardinals might be able to fill a void that exists currently in the trade market. I'll also give you some buzz that I'm hearing on a potential deal that could be made for the Cardinals as well. We'll get into that next year on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN's Blues Fan of the Week.
Congratulations to Sam Givalterra from St. Peters, Missouri. He's our newest 101 ESPN Blues Fan of the Week.
Submit your pick now at 101ESPN.com to be the next Fan of the Week and take home a pair of tickets to an upcoming Blues game.
Our Blues Fan of the Week is presented by CarStar, your auto body repair experts. Locally owned with nationwide warranty. See us at carstar.com.
WXOS, WXOS HD1 East St. Louis. 101 ESPN is driven by Auto Centers Nissan, home of the lifetime warranty and 30-day return. BK and Ferrario are broadcasting live from the E&B Granite Studios at the Centene Community Ice Center, presented by Bud Light and Skimmer's Original Vodka Iced Tea on 101 ESPN.
On BK, a little bit of an update. Man, this Sharon Moore story, just brutal.
University of Michigan is going to be like a Netflix special moving forward because the amount of stuff that is happening in that university's walls.
And this one's, man, it's a sad state of affairs. Sharon Moore, according to reports, has been charged with third-degree felony home invasion, misdemeanor stalking of a domestic relationship, and misdemeanor breaking and entering. He is being arraigned right now in Michigan. The prosecutor, this is the prosecution side of things, he will have his opportunity in court to give his side of things. Wanted to make that clear. He's innocent until proven guilty, but the prosecution is suggesting and alleging that Sharon Moore and the woman had an intimate relationship for a number of years. Quote, our victim broke up with the defendant on Monday morning. She presented herself to the school and corroborated that fact that they had the relationship. The prosecutor also suggesting that Sharon Moore went to the woman's house, grabbed a butter knife and kitchen scissors, and threatened to kill himself, then threatened her, saying, quote, my blood is on your hands, end quote. Oof. His attorney says, my client is 39 years old, zero criminal history, zero contact with the criminal justice system. There's no evidence to suggest that he is a threat to public safety. So this story will continue to unfold, and we'll see what comes out of it. But Sharon Moore, woof, man. It's just a terribly depressing and bad scene in Michigan. All right, on the sports side of things, getting back to the field of play, the Cardinals, there's a void that appears to exist right now in the trade market, Alex. This is from Jim Bowden's piece earlier today over on The Athletic, where he wrote about his takeaways from what he heard from people across Major League Baseball at the winter meetings. He said about the trade market, and I'm going to quote from him here in the story. He believes that there is a lack of teams looking for minor leaguers. Quote, several GMs told me that there we go. Several GMs told me that this year's meetings included more trade talks than they could previously remember from past meetings, which should lead to a lot of deals in December and January. Most striking was that almost all of the trade talk had to do with proposed major leaguer for major leaguer swaps rather than deals involving prospects for major league players. This left some organizations with strong farm systems looking for major league help frustrated. All of that coming from Jim Bowden's piece over on The Athletic. Alex, if this is true, and it makes some sense, honestly, when you look across the league at like the Diamondbacks, for example. I don't think they're looking for future prospects if they're going to trade Ketel Marte. I don't think the Tigers are probably looking for like this massive farm system windfall if they're to trade Tarek Skubal. These are teams that believe themselves to be contenders right now. I don't know that the Brewers are looking for like 18-year-old kids if they're going to trade Freddie Peralta. They're probably looking for guys that are going to help them. Same thing for the Kansas City Royals if they trade some of their pitching surplus. They want pitching for position players. The Cardinals are a team that could fit into this criteria. So if there's a void inside of the market, the Cardinals can fill that. They can be the team that supplies you a middle infielder with Brendan Donovan, a first baseman with Wilson Contreras, a reliever with Jojo Romero, outfielder with Lars Nootbaar, second baseman, third baseman, DH type with Nolan Gorman. They've got options for you. You want a catcher? We've got Pedro Pajes, man. You want a minor league catcher that's almost ready for the big leagues? We've got guys that can fit that criteria as well. So if this is truly a void right now, the Cardinals are in prime position to fill it.
Yeah, absolutely. My question to that is then why haven't trades happened yet for the Cardinals? Because if that's what other teams are asking, Cardinals know their stance. It's like, look,
keep ratcheting it up. Keep adding in. I guess we want more. You haven't met our price yet. Keep it going.
Crazy part with this too is it's so weird to hear that that's the void, because most times than not, right? Like, teams don't want to trade in their pipeline. They want to trade from their major league talent so that they can keep their younger pieces. But I mean, look, if this is the opening for the Cardinals, then this just even amplifies more the ability to reset this thing quickly if you're Chaim Bloom, because start with Brendan Donovan, you're going to get a truckload for that guy, especially if you're just asking for further away pieces. You're not waiting for them to be ready right now. You can wait a couple of years if you're the Cardinals to get the best return possible. Now that Wilson Contreras is starting to heat up with JoJo Romero, like all of these options, this should just Chaim Bloom being able to take advantage of the market, because all teams, again, they're going to come back to the Cardinals. They're going to go look elsewhere and say, what can you do? And then when all of them are too pricey, they'll go, fine, let's go back to Chaim Bloom and give up prospects.
Yeah, this is the luxury that the Cardinals have when you are one of, two teams that are truly tearing it down this offseason. There are some teams that are stuck in rebuilds, but they've kind of picked their rosters apart. Like, you look at the White Sox, there's not much left on that roster to try and go out and acquire. You look at, like, the A's, they're kind of trying to build it back up on the fly. The Cardinals and Nationals are the only two that are willing to tear it all down, which means you are the one of two teams that are willing to take on prospects. And there's plenty of teams that are, at least apparently based on reporting, pushing right now in the offseason. Mariners are one. They've got a high-level prospect system. The Dodgers are one of those teams that's up there. The Mets are up there with their prospects and what they're trying to do and how they're kind of trying to reconfigure their roster on the fly after their disappointing winter meetings. So the Cardinals can play into this void. But the thing that's so nice about what the Cardinals are able to do is they can play into this void while also playing into what you said about that first part, which is, hey, some teams are also looking more to move from major league talent than they are looking to move their prospects. And the Cardinals, if a trade comes up in that scenario, they could also swing that direction as well. If they are looking for controllable years overall rather than just looking for minor leaguers.
The other thing that is relevant, if you're a Cardinals fan, if you're looking at the top farm systems in Major League Baseball right now, and I'm going on this based upon Kylie McDaniel's rankings after the trade deadline this year, here is who he had at the top. Number 1, the New York Mets. Number 2, the LA Dodgers. Number 3, the Seattle Mariners. Now, number 4 is the Pirates. Set them aside for a second. 5, the Twins. 6, the Brewers. 7, the Guardians. 8, the Tigers. 9, the Cardinals. And then continuing along from there, you have the Red Sox at number 14. They have a lot of guys that have graduated from their system to like the cusp of the major leagues. So they're not being included in this. Of those teams that I just read for you, I think there were 5 or 6 that have been rumored to potentially be a partner for the Cardinals in a trade, especially number 1, the Mets, number 3, the Mariners, and number 14, the Boston Red Sox, all of whom have shown some level of interest in at least Donnie, Contreras, and JoJo, the 3 top trade chips that the Cardinals have right now. And there seems to be a lot of buzz right now on the Red Sox and Wilson Contreras. So I would keep an eye on that. I wonder if Contreras is the next domino that falls for the Cardinals. And he's the one that goes because we just saw so much movement on the position player side of things, especially on the first base market, where Pete Alonso ultimately landed with the Baltimore Orioles.
My hope is the Red Sox go after Contreras and get that, and Donovan and the Mariners are the match. I think the Mariners are the best case scenario for the Cardinals to get Donovan, because then you're getting a pitcher from that pipeline that your organization knows, but I also trust in them identifying the right players that they draft.
Yeah, you're pitching, I don't remember what his title is, but your pitching coordinator, whatever kind of you hinted at there, he worked in that system just like Chaim was with the Red Sox, and he's making a potential deal with them. I think you're right. It probably is Contreras, because all the teams that you just kind of brought up that are kind of in the mix for Donnie are also in the mix for Marte. It feels like Marte's the first domino has to fall up the middle in that market before you move on from Donovan. Alonso and Schwarber were the first ones that had to move for Contreras.
Yeah, there's just so many of them in the middle infield market right now.
You've got Marte, Donnie, McNeil with the Mets, Low or Lau, whichever one it is, with Tampa Bay. Also, Jorge Polanco can play a little bit of second base.
Don't forget about the free agent market, where you've got Bo Bichette still available and you've got Alex Bregman still available. So teams have so many different options that they can look at in the middle infield, third base market right now. they don't feel an urgency to go acquire one of them. They'll just wait for the prices to drop on somebody, or somebody will ultimately bite on, like, this is our number one option. We feel a need to go get this guy, and then they'll start to fall accordingly. That's what happened with Pete Alonso. It's pretty clear Baltimore prioritized his power to put that in the middle of their order, and now the first base market can move. Just like when we saw with the relief market, once that first domino fell, the rest of them start to go accordingly. So I expect that to be the case on the first base market. My assumption would be we'll see some kind of movement on Wilson Contreras sooner rather than later. Alongside Alex and T-Bone, I'm BK. By the way, Bradford Bruns back in the studio for us today, holding things down. We are broadcasting live at the E&B Granite Studios out at the Centene Community Ice Center. It's 12:19. Your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Mike McKenna, former NHL goalie, joins us in about 15 minutes. But next, we'll give you our football pick'em here on 101 ESPN.
It's time for another moment in Blues history.
On this day back in 1987, the Blues would defeat the Pittsburgh Penguins 5-2. Picking up the win was Rick Wamsley, stopping 28 of 30 Pittsburgh shots. The Blues would score the first 3 goals. Bernie Federko, Doug Gilmore, and Doug Evans. Pittsburgh would score next, then Tony McKegney and Brian Sutter on the power play would cap off that 5-2 night.
This date in Blues history is powered by Classic Air Care.
Make your life more comfortable for all your HVAC, plumbing, and electrical needs. ClassicAirCare.com.
Hey Blues fans, ready to take your excitement to the next level? BetMGM is now available in Missouri, so shoot your shot with an official sports betting partner of the St. Louis Blues. Discover exciting Blues matchups by downloading the BetMGM app and getting instant access to a variety of parlay selection features and live betting options. Enjoy same-game parlays, boosted odds specials, the best daily promotions in the business, and so much more when you sign up. The chase is on for the next Stanley Cup, so get hyped for Blues action all season long with an official sports betting partner of the St. Louis Blues. BetMGM, now available in Missouri. Sign up today. BetMGM, make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only, Missouri only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Please gamble responsibly.
ESPN has your shot to score a signed puck autographed by Blues forward Jake Neighbors.
Neighbors to the goal. Shoots. Score!
Enter to win Win now at 101ESPN.com or on your 101 app. Powered by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Broadcasting live from the Centene Community Ice Center inside the E&B Granite Studios. This is BK and Ferrario on 101 ESPN. Presented by Bud Light and Skimmer's Original Vodka Iced Tea on 101 ESPN.
For our football pick'em challenge here on BK and Ferrario. Last week, it was a rough start for Alex in the month of December. It was a good week for T-Bone. Alex had 1 point, T-Bone had 5. I was right in the middle with 4. On the season, though, it's almost the opposite. Alex has 44 points on the year. I have 37. T-Bone 1 behind me now with 36 on the season. It's a big month because it's the final month of our pick'em challenge. So we have the December punishment that we will have. We will also have our full season punishment, and I think you guys will like or dislike, depending on your perspective.
Oh, no.
I think on your taste.
I think people are going to love it. So, depending on the person that loses. I think it's going to dictate that.
Alex, since you lost last week, you will have the opportunity to make your first selection. I will go second. Then we will follow it up. T-Bone, if you're new to this, we'll make 3 picks
first
against the spread.
I think it's the other way around.
He picks first. He won. I spent the first 2 months of the season picking first.
Okay, I think typically it's the opposite because
you're wrong.
Yeah, I spent the first 3 months picking first every week.
Okay.
I'll go first, guys.
Fair enough.
Take it first.
If you are new to this.
Like BK.
We make 3 picks against the spread every week. No props, no point totals, just against the spread. You rank them 1 to 3, 3 being the most confident pick. There are 6 total points available for you each and every week. T-Bone, your 1 point play going into the weekend is what?
I know BK's not taking this because he said it in the break. I wish I had the cojones to make this play. I am going with the Patriots plus 1.5 against the Bills. I'm going to say with my chest, Vegas has this wrong.
Oh.
There are a couple of teams that they continue to give good odds to. The Chiefs, for some reason, are one of them. The Bills are the other. The Patriots are just a flat-out better team. They're at home, and they're not favored. So give me the Patriots plus 1.5 against Buffalo, a team they beat earlier this year.
You're going to tell them to not say that so definitively that Vegas has this wrong. It doesn't work out typically.
It is aggressive. I'll say that much. I actually think this is about the right line. I said that because of the opposite side. I like the Bills in that game, not the Patriots. I think the Bills -1 is pretty interesting. I think they're the better team out of the two. I think a lot of what we're seeing with the Patriots is that they are a creation of their schedule. You guys know how much I love Drake May. I think he's awesome. But these are the teams that they've beat since that Bills game last time around. New Orleans, Tennessee, Cleveland, Atlanta, Tampa Bay, the Jets, the Giants, and the Bengals. That's a who's who of the worst teams in the NHL this year. I think 7 of those 8 teams are expected to pick in the top 10. So, yes, I think they're pretty good, but those are their wins, plus Carolina, plus Miami, and then the win against Buffalo. I think Buffalo wins that game this weekend, but I don't have the cojones to pick it, so I respect you for doing
I'm worried
so.
how we'll see how elite the defense is for the Patriots against Josh Allen.
And the running game. The running game has been really good for the Bills this year, and that is, if there is an Achilles heel for the Patriots, it's their lack of a run defense. So I like the other side in that game personally. I will go ahead and give my 1 point play. Guys, we saw this team last week against the Chiefs. They are a suffocating defense. And I think that the Houston Texans -9.5 at home is a game that I will go ahead and play. I don't know how the Cardinals are going to be able to score in this game. I think that the Texans are just flat out the better team. That Cardinals defense is not particularly good either, so I think that the Texans will be able to score much more than they did a week ago. Give me the Texans. I know it's a big number, but -9.5, I think they cover it.
I'm piggybacking you on that. It's my 1 point play. I had that when it was between them and the Bears, -7.5. And for some reason, after what the Bears did to me last week against the Packers, I just don't want to touch that one. This is the one. I don't know how Arizona scores. So I'm with you, 1.9.5 Texans.
Yeah, I thought about it. It was just a little too big for my blood, especially in the NFL. But I say that and you'll see later on. My 2 point play, another one that I think Vegas has got wrong. And it goes to play with a good defense, and that is the Denver Broncos. I know the Jordan Love looked really good last week. The Packers played well against the Bears. the Bears defense is not anywhere close to what the Broncos are. I think you're going to see Jordan Love go back into really struggling this week. That Broncos defense is going to be suffocating. I think they win this football game outright. So I like the Broncos plus 2.5 over the Packers at home.
Man, this is really interesting. I like the other side of that game.
I'm feeling great. So far, he is on the opposite of both my picks.
Come on, Brandon.
So far,
take
you're
it.
on the opposite side of the standings from me.
Oh, hot damn! Hold on.
Literally, no. We're not celebrating a little late.
He stepped back and then drained it.
I remember somebody get punished last month, and it wasn't me, so I don't know.
How those hot wings taste.
I remember that. I maybe
still burns.
Okay, so you got the Broncos plus the 2.5.
Ooh, way to go, BK.
I am going back to the well. Vegas gives so much respect to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Dude,
I thought about
we're
this.
going to have the same one on this as well. You got to be kidding me.
I don't get it. Listen, man, the Chiefs just haven't been a good team this year. They're a 5.5-point favorite against the Chiefs. This is an auto bet for me. I think that the Chargers beat the Chiefs outright. I don't know how the Chiefs score. They're expected to be without their starting offensive tackles once again. They could not do anything offensively last week. I understand the Texans' defense is better than the Chargers. Chargers' defense has been really good this year, guys. And the Chargers' offense isn't great. I like the under on 41.5. I like the Chargers to win this game outright. I don't think this is the correct line. The power rankings are just wrong on the Chiefs once again. Give me the Chargers plus 5.5.
Here's the reason why I liked this one, too. I didn't like it as much to be my 3-point play, and there's a reason why. But there's a chance that the Chiefs can win. I don't think it's possible, but there's a chance because it's desperation mode for them. They are eliminated if they lose this one. But even if they win, I think it's going to be by a field goal. I don't think this is going to be like a 7-10-point win for the Chiefs because they can't score. So this is why, like, plus 5.5, take it to the bank.
I would also add this. It is a short week for the Chargers. Sometimes that can play into a line like this where I'm like, I don't understand why this is the way that it is.
West
short
to
week plays
Midwest.
into it, so maybe there's something to that. But, yeah, I still like the Chargers plus the 5.5. T-Bone, your 3-point play.
Guys, my 3-point play, I said that Texas line was too big, but I try to avoid big spreads in the NFL. Not this week. Not when I got to see Grandpa Rivers out there playing quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts against the best defense, I think, in the NFL, in the Seattle Seahawks. Minus 13.5. Give me Seattle. I think when you watch Phillip Rivers, it's going to be like that old Super Bowl commercial with Betty White promoting Snickers. I think that's what he's going to look like moving across the field.
That's a great
I think
commercial.
the Seahawks are going to kill the Colts this weekend. That could have been 17.5. I would have taken it. So give me Seattle on the spread.
You like the other side of that one?
Double it. I like the Seahawks
wow.
minus
Okay.
13.5 as well against the Colts. The Colts are they're falling flat, man. This team just doesn't have it any longer. Their defense can't get stops. I don't think their offense is going to do a whole lot of scoring. I think we saw that last week against Jacksonville. They're going back on the road this week once again. Give me the Seahawks minus 13.5.
I don't have the same one on you there because I have the Bengals. This morning I saw it at plus 3.5. It's shifted to 2.5. I still think the Bengals are winning this straight up. I mean, especially after Burrow's comments about how he's not enjoying life right now, I feel like this is one of those games that the Bengals are going to show up for. Plus, Baltimore, Lamar Jackson's barely standing. Their defense can't make stops. Now you got Burrow who could throw the ball. I know T. Higgins isn't playing. I think the Bengals are the better football team. So they win this one straight up. Plus, they're home, which is a good thing. So that was my 3-point play.
I had no feel for that football game.
I loved it at 3.5.
I wish it was 3.5.
It was this morning, and it shifted on me.
I wish T. Higgins was playing. I wish it was 3.5. If those two factors were there, I would have taken the Bengals as well. They would have probably been my 1-point play this week over the Texans minus 9.5. But with it being 2.5 and with T. Higgins being ruled out this morning, I just don't love it. But I think I know this is weird because of what the records are. I think they're better than the Ravens. Yeah. I think they're a better football team despite their terrible defense.
That's kind of why I went with it.
So,
as long as it wasn't going to turn into the Ravens being the favorite, I think the Bengals are a better football team right now. And
I feel the same way about the Chargers. My games are just who do I think is better?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way that I leaned with these picks. All right, Alex has the Texans and Chargers and the Bengals. I have the Texans, the Chargers, and the Seahawks. T-Bone has the Patriots, the Broncos, and the Seahawks. If you guys want to follow those, fade those, do that this weekend. We will give you our reveal in week 2 of our December Pick'em Challenge on Monday here on BK and Ferrario. In about 15 minutes, we'll dive into the junk drawer. But next, Mike McKenna, the former NHL goalie, joins us here on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN is powered by Kaufman Townsley, St. Louis's injury lawyers. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
This holiday season, help cheer on St. Louis high school basketball teams as they compete to support the fight to end cancer as we know it for everyone. Join the American Cancer Society Coaches versus Cancer Holiday Tournament, December 27th through 30th at Maryville University. Enjoy great games and a community coming together against cancer. Learn more at 101ESPN.com.
Tanner Hendrickson here in Missouri. Your moment is finally here because DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is now live in your state. Now, you can make every game even more exciting with same-game parlays, money lines, props, and more, all from your phone, all safe, secure, and easy to use. And right now, new Missouri customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. No waiting. No nonsense, just pure action powered by America's top-rated sportsbook app. I'll be in on the action this weekend. You heard my plays during our Pick'em Challenge. I'm taking the Broncos, Patriots on the spread this week, and I also love them straight up on the money line as well to pull off the upsets. So download that DraftKings Sportsbook app and use my code TANNER. That's code TANNER as new Missouri customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. That's code TANNER. The crown is yours in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Louis Blues hockey can be heard exclusively on 101 ESPN. Get the info you need before and after every Blues game with a First Community pre- and post-game show. First Community Credit Union.
Take your best shot with First Community and presented by Scott Lee Heating Company and Urban Chestnut Brewing Company.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
Blowout at Bridgestone. Good afternoon. I'm Bradford Bruns with your Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. After a 7-2 loss in Nashville on Thursday, St. Louis resumes the grind tonight. Blues Blackhawks puck drop set for 7 o'clock right here. Arch rival Chicago occupying fourth place standings-wise, having just blanked those Rangers. NFL Kirk Cousins throwing 3 touchdown passes to Kyle Pitts Sr. as Atlanta rallies past Tampa Bay 29-28. Tomorrow, bowl season begins. Boise State battling Washington, plus America's game pits Army against Navy. Mizzou also getting its 2026 schedule. Oklahoma, not Arkansas, represents that final conference foe November 28th. This Sports Center update was driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet plus Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
This is BK and Ferrario on 101 ESPN. Broadcasting live from the E&B Granite Studios at the Centene Community Ice Center. Presented by Bud Light and Skimmer's Original Vodka Iced Tea on 101 ESPN. We're going between the pipes with former NHL goaltender Mike McKenna.
Between the Pipes is refreshed by Macadoodle Spirits, fine wine, beer, and cigars. Now open in Darden Prairie.
It's a Friday. You know what that means. Our guy, Macadoodle Mike McKenna, joining us in studio today. The former NHL goalie. He joins us each and every Friday here on BK and Ferrario. Unfortunately, the other thing that it means is that the Blues played last night and they lost. Last time we talked to Mike McKenna, the Blues head coach came out after the game and said, I didn't like the effort. We didn't try. This time we're talking to Mike McKenna 1 week later, and the Blues captain came out and said, we're soft. So with that, Mike, thanks for hopping on as always, man. How you doing today?
Hi, guys. Hi, St. Louis. I just every week feel like it'd be really nice to come on and have some energy and be like super positive.
We might need to change the days. Maybe it's just like a Friday thing right now.
I think we may need to, let's pick like a random Tuesday or something.
See if it works.
Yeah. It's really tough after a game that you lose 7-2 and you're down. You've allowed a touchdown by the end of the second to afterwards be trying to find any positives. And yeah, I mean, Hugh McGinn gets his first NHL goal and that's great. But even for him, it's like hollow feeling because it was such a bad performance. And the word Shen uses, if soft is the worst word ever for a hockey player. You don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear your captain say it. There's a couple of things that came out of Jim Montgomery's mouth after the game that really caught my attention, though. And the first one is he said that you've got to play, paraphrasing, in the slot areas in front of each net with passion. So your captain said you're soft and your coach says you don't have any passion. That's not us saying it. Mm-hmm. We all see it. And that's reality. And then the other thing that Montgomery said that was really striking to me was that they showed 5 clips yesterday morning of protecting the front of the net. Mm-hmm. And that did not happen. And there's nothing that will burn a coach up more on the inside than giving your team guardrails and a pathway and giving them direct feedback on what is not happening at a professional level. And then they go out and completely flop. That's the word I mean, I'm almost feeling like internal fire right now from a coaching perspective,
Especially when it's an effort thing, right? If it's young guys making mistakes, you can live with that. That's execution.
Yeah.
But effort is something that every player individually, they can control that.
It is, and especially when you do have such a depleted lineup, you have to bring it across the board because those young guys have to feel that energy that comes from their teammates that are leading the charge on it. And, it's just not there. And to watch, first off, Luke Evangelista from Nashville is a guy that I've kind of had my eye on for the last 2 weeks or so. He's really started to heat up and put up some points, and ironically picked him up for my fantasy team last week. So you know what I mean? No, get this. I didn't dress him or Stamkos last night.
Oh, no.
Dude, I was such a homer. I'm like, dude, the Blues are going to play great tonight. I could just feel it, And I
should have known, Mike, it was a Thursday.
I'm the worst Nostradamus, and this is why, part of the reason I don't like to give bets out. I wasn't any good at that, the gambling side. But that guy can really pass the puck. And to think that the Blues, again, when you're watching video, that you're not going to seal passing lanes and you're going to let a guy who's been ripping the league up now for a couple weeks just do whatever he pleases because you've got 3 guys that don't have a stick lane leading to the back door multiple occasions. I mean, that's tough, dude. And that's just details. That's stuff you learn at a younger level. That's not negotiable stuff. Stick in lane. Be hard.
So
get to the front.
I feel like it's pretty obvious that this is a individual player issue. So you're talking about the clip from Jim Montgomery, and it's funny you mentioned it because I mentioned it on postgame last night. They're showing them the clips.
Mm-hmm.
So what's happening in that room then, Mike? I can't imagine these guys are acting like 5th graders, not listening to their teacher talk. They're honed in. How is it not getting to the point where they see it and then fix it on the ice?
We do have to be really clear that these players have pride. This isn't like they're going out there and purposefully tanking,
right,
or not trying. Even though once they get down 4-5 and the wheels come off, it looks like they're not trying. It actually looks like they're trying too hard. I have a personal preference that I can't stand man-on-man defense, and now they're playing that. That's a personal preference. I don't like it. I don't think it gives guardrails. I think they look really sloppy because of that and don't know who to cover right now. That's my personal opinion on this, but that's not something I can change. I think that you really just have a group that we've discussed on multiple occasions. How many people in that room right now are greasy? How many can grind? How many of the guys that you look at that, man, okay, Braden Shen, yes. Jake Neighbors, yes. But Braden Shen also, at this stage of his career, he's not fast enough to always be the guy driving it all the time. In my eyes, he's just not. And especially if you can't just run him, down the wing to have one purpose like that, and you need more out of him, you're asking a lot there. It's the rest of this group that they're either a step behind or they just haven't really wanted to do it. And Dylan Holloway, guys, we thought 80 points, 90 points this year, right? We have yet to see him play with a killer instinct consistently. On the puck, winning battles, running guys over, consistently. It's there at times, right? He's a guy that can change this whole team. Truly. I think Holloway is a guy who could just simply put a team on his shoulders, take that step, but he's going to have a couple people come with him and fall in line.
Same thing's true for Thomas.
Yeah.
Thomas could be the best player on the ice every time that he takes it outside of 5 games. He has that kind of talent. We haven't seen it consistently this year. We've seen it in spurts, but if you're going to be a player that is expected to be 90 to 100 points, it's got to be more than in spurts. That can't happen if you're inconsistent.
True. And the flip side to it, though, is every great player always has a partner. Hull and Oates, I struggle to say Crosby and Malkin because they typically have played on separate lines, but even on the power play, I remember facing that and just going, oh boy, okay, Letang's out here playing against the Capitals, and you've got when they had Backstrom and Ovechkin together, and that's not there with the Blues either. So, that's team construction. That's also team evolution. We knew what the construction was. We were looking for evolution, and evolution now is going to be short-sighted because they're all hurt. So there's a lot of things that are headwinds, but there's still 4 points out of a wild card slot.
Can I go back to the man-to-man defense? Because you're a goaltender. You see it all the time in front of you. It kind of felt like they had to make a switch because the zone wasn't working either. Why isn't man working with this personnel?
Well, it's not working because they made a switch midseason and they're running around right now. And they don't have the personnel to do it. And in Springfield, I don't know this. I would imagine Springfield would have been playing the same system to start the season. If they weren't, it was an entire disservice to the organization. So now you're trying to change everything. You've got players coming in that haven't played it. And to me, the only reason the zone defense wasn't working for this club was the reasons we've just discussed about the work ethic. If you're willing to play hard within that role and communicate and start and stop and pressure pucks, that's where the Blues were lacking in their D zone under the zone. They just weren't pressuring pucks. They were just clogging the middle. Nobody's skating and working hard, coming back out, flexing out, coming back. So it's kind of a catch-22. Do we simplify it and just have them run around and chase a guy? Or do we try to put a bunch of guys that so far have not shown a willingness to work in their D zone consistently in a system that has boundaries and requires you to think on the ice? Sometimes thinking slows people down. I don't know. I'm spitballing here, guys. Yep. I'm digging for anything.
One other quick question, and this is just going back to what Alex was talking about with your expertise in the goalie side of things. I was surprised when I saw they came out for the third period and Joel Hofer was in net.
Mm-hmm.
As a goalie, were you surprised by that? Did you think it was the right call to pull Binnington in the game last night?
At 6 goals, no. It was. I mean, I think it was the right call.
Right call to get him out?
Yeah, at that point, when
explain to me as an idiot.
You're very bright. Very bright.
We also had a bet on this, Mike. Let's not forget that.
Why it was the right call.
This is a mercy pull at this point. This is we're not leaving you out there on this. And you're not even worried about the next night. Like
I was about to say, what about
Joel Hofer plays tonight? That's what's going to happen.
You're not worried about. I mean, he didn't have a whole lot of work in that third period. I think Nashville only had like 8 shots.
I mean, I don't know that. I mean, I haven't watched Morning Skate or anything, but I bet the farm Hofer's playing tonight. I don't think that there's just too much out there that people think goalies can't play back-to-back, and you can. You absolutely can. It's coming in for a period for some mop-up duty, whatever.
Okay.
I didn't like when Binnington was pulled quickly the last
Anaheim.
time. I didn't like that pull. I understand.
don't think he did either.
No, I agree. Well, but we tend to think similarly. You want to stay in battle, and I love that about Benner. And I also love the fact that in the moment, Montgomery made a decision, and he stuck with it, and that's that. Mm-hmm. And that's your job as a coach. And I also love that those two put water under the bridge right away. You know, that's just how it works, man. You just step up, man-to-man, talk about it. That's that. But I thought it was a mercy pull last night. I didn't think it was you weren't trying to get Joel Hofer work or anything, or get him ready for tomorrow or whatever. It was just, we got to get Benner out of there. We're not helping him.
I got one more hockey question before we talk Macadoodles. Are they at the point, or how far away from at the point, Mike, to where this becomes look, our young guys are just going to have to go through these lumps and learn. Like, you hate to say you're in the development stage of the season because you are only 4 or 5 points out of it, but you're December 12th and we're talking about effort and being soft. Are they getting to the point where some of these young guys are just going to have to learn?
It's learning on the job, because I don't see a big hockey trade that's going to turn things around at this point. And that's what, I mean, management's looking at their own team. And again, if I'm in management, I'm looking at my team going, we are so beat up right now that we can't even make a hockey trade that's going to help us, where we don't get fleeced because everybody sees us as a wounded animal. And so you kind of get stuck with what you have. But the bright side is you're going to get some experience for some guys here. You know, I mean, Dvorsky may end up playing 18, 19 minutes before you know it here. And is that ideal? It may not be, but it's going to give him a heck of a lot of experience that he's never had before. I'm not sure Kaskamaki's really ready for a big role, but like, you could put Hugh McGing on the ice and be fine, right? Like, he's played enough games. He can go out and do it. Robbie Fabry at least had some energy. I mean, feel bad he was in the box for 4 minutes. But, you know, I mean, there's a seasoned NHL player that, I mean, let's face it, they got him off the scrap heap, man. Like, he took a two-way because he needed a deal, and this is your best chance to get back to the NHL. That's great. Go prove it, man. We'd love for you to take on a role, because right now it's truly open for Robbie Fabry to make a difference on this team.
We've mentioned a few different times that the Blues are only 4 points out of a wild card spot. Mike, I don't know if you've looked at the NHL draft standings right now. Those are the ones that I'm paying a little bit closer attention to currently. They are also 4 points out from having the best odds to get the number 1 overall selection.
Who's that going to be? Do you know his name?
Who?
No, I think there's like 3 people that could be it.
Gavin McKenna's up there. He's among the players that are in contention.
I like the Stenberg kid over in Sweden. Let's just recreate the Sedin brothers with the Stenberg brothers.
I'm just rooting for McKenna. We have no
I wonder
relation.
why.
I think it's awesome. I mean,
We'll just say you guys are.
People kept calling me Steve McKenna occasionally. Referees would in the linesmen in the games. Hey, Steve. He was a 6'7" fighter, guys. I'm a 6'2", like terrible athlete that's being a poser out here.
Listen, I like heavy metal, but what are we doing here? All right, Mike. We do always have great things to discuss with you on the liquor and beer and wine side of things, even if the hockey isn't great. So what can people expect when they walk through the doors this weekend at Macadoodles?
Well, it's limited and allocated drop time of the year. And now, mind you, allocated doesn't mean just Buffalo Trace products. There's other stuff. We've got Redwood Empire, Haystack Needle came in. New Riff has dropped a ton of whiskeys lately. They're winter whiskeys in our store right now. A malted rye with a sherry finish, Red Turkey Wheat. You can go down the list here of things that have just shown up that's really cool and unique stuff that's shown up. Wine is the same way. We've got some Christmas wines, holiday wines out that some of them you serve them warm. You make a little cocktail with that and put it out there. And we're happy about all that stuff. We continue to sell all the THC, but the cool thing that's happened is just now people are coming in looking for gifts, and we love it at Macadoodles when people ask us what they should get somebody, and who are you buying for? What do they like? Well, we had a gal come in this morning. He loves double oaked, Woodford double oak. I go, perfect. I what's your budget? Whatever. And Buzzard's Roost, double oak cigar blend. This is it. I'm telling you, this should work. If not, come back and I'll buy it back from you. Like we stand by our product, what we sell. So we get super happy about that. And even today, same deal. We're gonna run a little promotion here. So I got two things for you.
So what's the buzzword?
Conundrum red wine through this weekend, $16.97. That's $3 to $4 less than anybody in town you'll see. And Jack Daniel's Heritage 100 proof toasted barrel, we've got it at $54.97. That's less than even the paid membership places. It is the cheapest in town. You will find it anywhere. But here's the kicker. And the first person to show up at Macadoodles to ring the bell and say, hickory smoked bacon. Loud enough for everybody to hear, Tanner, because next door is Sugar Fire, which uses hickory wood. Hickory smoked bacon. You can have a bottle of Bland's. It's all yours. MSRP. Take her out the door. Enjoy it. Have a great holiday season at Macadoodles.
It's a nice thing to be able to get. You can't find that very many places at MSRP. So check it out. It's Macadoodles out in Darden Prairie. They'll get you hooked up. If you have some gifts that you want to get for the holiday season as well, it's a great place to go. Check them out over there. If you've got somebody in your family, in your life, that is a wine drinker, a beer drinker, a liquor drinker of any kind, the THC side of things, NA drinker. I've had some NA beers from over there as well. They've got a really great selection in that front. It's a good time to be an NA drinker, Alex. They're coming out with a ton of really cool stuff on that side of things as well.
Burgeoning category. We just got some Weller Cohiba cigars in today.
Oh,
so
nice.
even our cigar room's getting some things that are really
T-Bone's
unique.
coming out.
Oh, look at him.
Oh,
He got him.
There it is.
I better put him in the wagon.
I'll come in for the new riff. T-Bone's going to be over there for the cigars. You could go in there right now and potentially get that MSRP as well for the Blanton's bottle. Mike, we appreciate the time as always, man. We'll talk with you again next week.
I can't wait to talk about a winner.
Yeah, well,
it's going to be great.
I hope so for your sake, Mike.
We do have good news, though. We're going to be out for Christmas, the holiday vacation, a couple of Fridays in a row, potentially.
So you're going to be getting early.
Weeks we'll get in early.
We're going to get in on a Tuesday rotation here.
We'll get a couple Mondays. We'll see if Mike wants to switch after that.
It's Mike McKenna. Appreciate his time as always. Joins us on behalf of the fine folks over at Macadoodles. Coming up next, time for the Junk Show. I think Alex has something ready to go for us here on 101 ESPN.
Tomorrow, Army and Navy. Pre-game at 1, kickoff at 2. College football lives on 101 ESPN. XOS, WXOS HD1 East St. Louis, 101 ESPN is driven by Brown and Crouppen Law Firm. Live from the Centene Community Ice Center inside the E&B Granite Studios, you're tuned into BK and Ferrario on 101 ESPN. Presented by Bud Light and Skimmer's Original Vodka Iced Tea on 101 ESPN. Let's open it up. The Junk Drawer with BK and Ferrario.
All right, let's dive into the junk drawer. We'll do this relatively quickly. We mentioned yesterday, Love Island. They're coming to St. Louis. They have their online form, how you can register to be a part of the show. Alex has it pulled up right now. Alex, let's go ahead and put this together.
All right, we're gonna go through these pretty quickly here, rapid fire. So, T-Bone, I need your best answer on this one. What's the funniest and/or weirdest job that you've ever had?
Sody shop. Clearly, the Sody shop.
The Sody shop. Oh my God, that's so gonna get you on the television with this one.
Yeah.
The Sody shop. Have you ever appeared or participated on any podcasts?
Yes.
I like this one. Do you have or have you had content on subscription sites such as OnlyFans, Fansly, Patreon, or something similar?
I haven't gone out there yet.
Have
But
you
if things
ever
get
made-
bad, I could use more money during the summertime.
Have you ever made an appearance on an adult film site or an exclusive content site?
No.
Okay, that's a good one. Are you single?
Yes.
Please state how long you've been single and describe your current relationship status.
So I've been single for, hold on, quick math. I graduated in 2020, like 5 years, 6 years.
Okay. When was your last relationship? It's kind of answered it there. 6 years. How long was that relationship?
6 months, 8 months.
Okay.
That's a real relationship.
Why did you break up?
We kept arguing.
About what, T-Bone?
Yeah. What would you argue
about me working too much.
Okay.
Okay, that's going to get you on there.
As sports people would know.
No children.
Have you
for
ever been
T-Bone.
married?
No.
No children we know about, right?
Yeah.
At this time in your life, are you more interested in exploring casual situationships or finding a more serious relationship?
I'm more of a serious relationship kind of guy.
Okay, so you're not
I could
playing
go
the
for
field
casual
here?
as well, but
Do you fall in love easily, T-Bone?
oh, absolutely.
Do you have
Look at Nolan Corbin.
Yeah, with guys who have the potential to hit 40 home
If
runs.
she's left-handed and can hit 40 bombs, I'm in.
Do you have preferred ways of finding dates?
Example, in-person, dating apps like Tinder, or
any
other
other
methods. I don't know what the other methods would
Yeah, I
be.
was gonna say, what would that be?
Maybe like Facebook, I don't know, texting.
I do a little bit of everything. I would say in person.
I like this one. Do you prefer to be the pursuer or to be pursued?
I would think I have to be the pursuer. I don't know that I've
You
got
don't
the
want to
other-
be pursued, T-Bone?
If I get pursued, I might as well put a ring on
What's
it.
the boldest thing you've ever done to get someone's attention?
Boldest thing I've ever done to get someone's attention? Oh, gosh. I have no idea what to even say for that.
We're getting to some of the juicy
This
parts
is
here.
fun,
I have no idea. I don't even know what to say for that.
Why do you think you're currently single?
I mean, come on, look at me.
Whoa,
Damn,
you're a
T-Bone.
good-looking fella.
I'm out of shape. I don't got the muscle mass.
Flex for us a little bit. Oh, there we go. I like that one. Describe your ideal
my shirt.
romantic partner.
Ooh, ideal romantic partner.
Personality, looks.
I want someone that's funny,
I
casual.
don't think that's what they're talking about.
Why?
The personality.
Yeah, I want someone that's laid back.
Well, you don't
Not-
think Love is Blind Love Island is wanting to know what their personality's like?
I would
I
want.
think they're thinking like 5'7", brown hair,
Oh, Jesus,
blue,
T-Bone.
Oh, that's what we're looking
Yeah,
for.
they want personality.
athletic build.
So I don't fall into that.
No, not you. What do you want in your romantic
5'7"
partner?
you fall in.
You want a
Yeah.
6'4"?
I want someone that's like 5'4" to 5'7". Oh, not 6'4".
Jeez, that's a tiny.
Blonde,
I guess
blue,
you're tiny.
I
blonde,
watched
blue eyes.
5'3".
Blonde, blue eyes. There we go.
Blonde, blue eyes.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us about your family life growing up.
I'm close with my family. No real issues there.
Close with your siblings and parents.
Not so much my sister, but I'm cool with the parents.
Do you prefer dating people younger or older than you?
I would say prefer younger, but
You're not afraid. You're not opposed to the older lady.
What
Not
makes
too
you
older.
a good boyfriend, and what makes you a bad
A
boyfriend?
good boyfriend, bad boyfriend.
bad boyfriend, work a lot. Good boyfriend, I would say I care about what her feelings would be. I would be the romantic type.
How romantic? Give us the perfect date.
When you're saying romantic,
date.
are you talking about like
I would
things for one another?
Well,
or
I would plan stuff. Like I would plan
romance?
stuff. You know, we're still on the air. It's fine. I would say plan.
Good. We don't want to miss this content.
I looked up our YouTube stream.
The funny thing is, I see us on YouTube.
101 ESPN is currently in a break. We'll be right back. And I was like, what just happened?
Wait, what?
It's 1 o'clock.
They're missing content.
I would say I'm one that's like willing to plan stuff and try and
perfect date. Tell us what it is.
like first date.
Yeah.
I would say like coffee date, getting coffee, just getting to know each other.
That's not romantic.
No, but
okay.
the first
Give us
date,
the
I don't think it's
perfect
gotta be
romantic date then. Doesn't have to be the first date.
I think coffee is a great first date.
You can get in and out.
We're not going to argue about that, but tell me the perfect romantic date.
Oh, boy.
If you're Mr. Romance, I need to know what it is.
Maybe go out to a nice restaurant, and then like at this time of year during Christmas, go and see maybe some Christmas lights. Then you head back home and really have the fun.
I'm not putting that one on here.
Who's your celebrity crush?
Celebrity crush. Boy, I don't know off the top of my head.
What is the most defining moment of your life?
Being on BK and Ferrario,
getting
obviously.
to the state tournament in high school.
Going
that
to the
was my
draft
peak prime.
in Nashville.
I thought I was going to die from the drive there.
Do you have any close connections with celebrities or public known figures?
I know Brandon, Kylie, and Alex Ferrario.
That's not going to get you very far. What's the most difficult thing you've ever been through?
He has once texted with people within the Cardinals organization.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
He's once called Chris Pronger.
Yeah, okay.
Cool.
Most
difficult thing you've been through?
Probably having my appendix blow up and going through that surgery recovery.
Jeez, okay. Well,
Have you ever seen a past season of Love Island?
No, I didn't even know the show existed until I met that famous guy, Brandon Kylie.
let's one more and then we'll end on this one. Please let us know if you have any interesting talents you'd like to share. This you got to make good if you want to get on the show.
I can play the trombone.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, I played trombone in high school. I can still do it today.
I did not know that you could play the trombone. Do you have any musical inclinations?
I can play the saxophone.
Really?
I wanted to play the saxophone.
I didn't know
I played the saxophone for like 14, 15 years.
I wanna learn
Bradford,
guitar.
were you ever in band?
Oh, Bradford cleaned up.
You guys know that I rocked it with the percussion section. Absolutely.
Oh, hell
Bradford
yeah. We
totally
could-
was
we
the
could
dude in
build
the
a
back
band.
with
Heck
those
yeah.
big drums, and he'd have the chimes. Oh God, yeah!
Triangle, do it,
Was
do
a
it.
flute guy.
You know what's sad? That was the first one they offered me. They said,
You seem like
we
a
want you
flute
to
guy.
play flute. And I said, if you're offering me flute, I'm not in band.
I went to one day of band in middle school. I don't know if it was the same for you guys, but you had to choose vocal or band. I chose band. They said, hey, every day you guys need to be practicing. And I said, I'm out. Vocal it is.
Can I change my interesting talent?
Yeah,
I agree
you
with
better.
Flashback Deuce. I should can hit Helsley's 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, no, we have to see that before. Although that is how you get on this show. All right, I'm gonna finish this one up and send.
Alongside Alex and T-Bone on BK. Coming up next, the Blues are experiencing some of those growing pains that we feared with our intrusive thoughts going into the season. We'll discuss it here on 101 ESPN.
Do you have a girlfriend?
No, I don't, but I'm single. I'm ready for you.
This week, 101 ESPN has your Cardinals ticket pack hookup for the 2026 season. Give the gift of Cardinals baseball this holiday season. Ticket packs are on sale now, starting at just 5 games. Listen all this week to 101 ESPN for your shot to score a Cardinals ticket pack for the 2026 season. Find all the St. Louis Cardinals ticket pack info now at cardinals.com/tickets. the Blues game? Want to hear the highlights? Need player reaction? Want more analysis and opinion? It's all here on Curbside, your next day postgame podcast with a voice of the St. Louis Blues, Chris Kerber. Catch new episodes of Curbside every morning after every Blues game on 101ESPN.com or on the 101 mobile app.
Curbside is presented by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Your St. Louis roofing experts. Visit BlueNoteRoofing.com for a free inspection. And by Bellman Automotive. For the best price on a new Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, or used vehicle, shop Bellman in Troy. Online at Bellman.com. You can't do better than Bellman.
BK and Ferrario are broadcasting live from the E&B Granite Studios at the Centene Community Ice Center. Presented by Bud Light and Skimmer's Original Vodka Iced Tea on 101 ESPN.
Alongside Alex and T1 on BK. So, Alex, this Blues team, we knew coming into the season, there was a possibility that they would have some growing pains. They've got a lot of young players in the lineup. That was the expectation coming into the season. Even more so the case today, given all the injuries. Is that partially how we explain what's gone wrong for them recently?
Somewhat. Like last night, the first two goals that were scored, the players on the ice, Skamaki, Hugh McGing, and Oscar Sundqvist, Logan Mailloux, and Tyler Tucker. That was the five guys out there for the second Steve Stamkos goal. The first goal that was scored, Hugh McGing whiffs on the puck, Skamaki doesn't back on one, and the puck goes in. So, that to me, Dalibor Dvorsky, a couple of nights ago against Boston, he's got the puck behind the net. He's not strong enough around the boards. The puck goes in. Last night, he's tied up with Steven Stamkos. Stamkos out-duels him. Dvorsky can't win that back. Goes in. That's the explanation. Dvorsky's learning a lot of hockey games compared to what he's done the last couple of years in the AHL or in juniors hockey. But on top of that, you also have a Logan Mailloux who's learning the defensive side of the game. You have Kaskamaki who's out there playing his first year as an NHL player. So yeah, some of these goals that are going in are the learning side of the game. I'm not going to say it's the sole reason that the Blues keep losing because Broberg played 26 minutes last night. Parayko and Falk played north of 23 minutes. Cam Fowler played 23 minutes. Thomas Buchnevich, Neighbors, Holloway, Joseph Schempp, those guys eat a lot of minutes. So a couple of shifts when the puck goes in their own net, that's when those younger guys are out there. But more times than not, I think a lot of those goals that Stamkos and Forsberg and such scored, that was the top players out there on the ice.
I think one of the concerns that I have right now, Alex, for all the talk, and by the way, a little bit of news, let's go ahead and discuss this. The Blues have announced that forward Alex Santeri-Kaskamaki has been assigned to the AHL. So he is going back down to the AHL. There is no corresponding move listed going into
probably because they saw this and they said, look, it's very raw. I think he's had a lot of games to where he's just been behind on plays on the back check. And you've got Matt Luff now with Robbie Fowler. So my guess, Matt Luff goes into the lineup. Now, I will be curious to find out with Toropchenko because they haven't put him on IR. He could be available. I don't know if he's playing in this game tonight, but do you have this game tonight and then Toropchenko is available to go for you and you just go through a game with Matt Luff? But he was one of those guys that it was just very apparent he's just behind on a lot of plays, and this is that youth side.
According to Putter, Toropchenko has been placed.
He was on IR, but it would be retroactive to the injuries. He would be available to come off of it, but they would have to activate him.
And they said he's week to week, so I don't know, man.
He said he was making progress before they went to Nashville, and I don't expect him to play, but does he come back by Monday? Does he come back? Like, you don't send him 12 forwards. You're at home. You're probably thinking that at some point on this homestand, you're going to get one of Bukestad or Toropchenko back.
You have 14 forwards right now, right? 13. Because Fabry, Luff.
Yeah, but there last night, and it was Matt Luff. Because Kyrou.
I'm not counting Nick Bukestad.
Yeah.
He's not on
He's
IR
not on
right now,
IR. Yeah, so he was unhealthy. So, yeah, you have 12 healthy forwards now with the potential of getting one or two of them back. Bukestad, we have no idea. Again, they say it's an upper body injury. My guess is it's a head from how that elbow to the head happened. So, yeah, you got 12 healthy forwards. Maybe somebody comes back. We won't know because they didn't do a morning skate today. Monty talks at 5:45. But, yeah, this was just a Kaskamaki looks very raw. He's going to have to go back down and take what he's learned here and go back to being a top 6 player in the
and
AHL.
Fabry looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you combine all of
My
those.
guess is Fabry's top 6 tonight.
Okay, I don't think he was here the day we presented this. It was one of the Bet It or Forget It or one of our weekly segments. And someone said, well, I think it's more likely to happen. More likely to happen. Fabry's here the rest of the year or Braden Chen?
Oh,
what would your answer be to that?
Probably Fabry being here because when you're back to being healthy, you'll have 14 forwards. You'd send McGing down. You'd send Luff down. I don't know who else you'd send down, but yeah, I'd say Fabry being here.
Coming up in 15 minutes, we'll get into One's Gotta Go. 314-399-9646. That's the Air Comfort Service text line. Our NFL Weekend Look Ahead next here on 101 ESPN.
Start your day with the morning after on 101 ESPN. Get in the know first on everything St. Louis sports with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, and Martin Kilcoy. Listen to TMA weekday mornings from 7 to 11 a.m. on 101 ESPN. The morning after is presented by Brown and Crouppen Law Firm. Broadcasting live from the Centene Community Ice Center inside the E&B Granite Studios. This is BK and Ferrario on 101 ESPN. Presented by Bud Light and Skimmer's Original Vodka Iced Tea on 101 ESPN.
Alongside Alex and T1 on BK, it's BK and Ferrario here on 101 ESPN. It's time for our NFL weekend look ahead. Alex, I think we do this a little differently this week.
Oh, that's going to confuse me, man. I'm always expecting the same thing.
I don't think we do our upset of the week, game of the week. There's a lot of good games this weekend. I think we just go through these one by one, and we can go ahead and break them down, in part because we don't have a ton of time here, and also in part because I need your guys' help with my Pick'em challenge.
Are we going to get credit at some point? Because I don't like things being used of mine that's not credit.
No.
And come on, man.
No credit whatsoever.
Cool.
Browns are on the road at the Bears this weekend.
That's what you go with, huh?
I'm just going one by one in order. It's an incredibly cold game. It's supposed to be one of the coldest games in the history of the stadium.
Even colder than the Chiefs? Oh, I was saying even the Chiefs one?
Yeah, it's supposed to be colder than that. The wind chill is supposed to be like -10. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law are both going to this game in Chicago this weekend.
That's dumb.
You couldn't pay me to go to this game. Between the Bears and the bleeping Browns, no chance.
You could tell me that I could stand on sideline for the entirety of the game, and I still would say
I
no.
might do it then.
I would do a suite.
No.
If you're telling me I'm indoors at the stadium, then I'll go.
But what if they tell you that the window's open?
No, I'm out. I'm good. I'll go to a different game.
BK's in the back of the suite, bundled up, like, I want to go home.
Browns are 7.5, Bears are 7.5 point favorite. The Browns injury report is lengthy. I really like the Bears in this game. I could understand taking them minus the points. It's just a really big spread. Do you guys like the Bears?
Yeah, I like the Bears to win straight up. The spread, it was one of my potential pick'ems, and I went with the Texans over it because the Bears have some injuries of their own. I don't know if Adunze's playing. Sounds like two of their secondary pieces are going to be hurt. And 7.5 is just a lot because I'd still be concerned that Shador is able to at least score some touchdowns with some of his offensive weapons.
Yeah, I like Bears as well. I don't have a feel for the spread because that Cleveland's defense can make any game a dogfight to where 7.5 just feels too big. But because they're missing so many, I can see Bears covering. I would avoid the spread on this one.
Next game that I've got on the slate, Ravens at the Bengals. The Ravens are a 2.5 point road favorite in Cincinnati. I right now have the Bengals as my projected winner in this game. How do you guys feel on it?
I'd go Bengals straight up. I mean, it's my 3-point play because I'm done with the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, Lamar Jackson can't stay healthy right now, and they're just forcing him through this. Their defense is completely banged up, specifically in the secondary, which is where Joe Burrow will exploit you, even without T. Higgins. I think the over is going to hit because I think both sides are going to score points, but I think the Bengals have a reverse outcome like they had against the Bills this past weekend.
My fear is Derrick Henry potentially running for 200 yards, but he hasn't done that since week one. He is just their running game has been successful, but it almost looks like the Chiefs' running game where they get 4 yards, 4 yards, 4 yards, 4 yards. They don't have those big chunk gains the way that they did a year ago. The Ravens and the Eagles have mirror image problems in the running game. They're not getting the explosives that we're used to. So maybe it's not as big of an issue as it was in the past. I personally like the Bengals. T-Bone?
I like the Ravens just because I have no faith in the Bengals defense, but there's nothing to really support my take on the Ravens. I've been saying this all year long, and they continue to disappoint.
All right, next one up here is the Cardinals at the Texans. Texans a 9.5 point favorite.
Texans.
Alex, we all like this one. Yeah, we don't have to spend much time on it.
This is an easy one.
Jets, it's Brady Cook starting.
Whoever they're playing.
Yeah, I was going to say
I'm
their
take
opponent.
The Jags on the road. Jaguars are a 13.5 point home favorite. Chargers are in Kansas City. Chiefs are a 5.5 point home favorite. I like the Chargers on this one straight up. Do you guys have a case against the LA Chargers to win outright against the Chiefs?
My only case would be the desperation of the Kansas City Chiefs, but I'd argue they had that this past weekend and they laid an egg. So could I see the Chiefs winning? Sure. But I would side with a Justin Herbert in that offense more than I'd sign with
the
Mahomes.
Chiefs, by the way, it has just been confirmed, are down to their third string left tackle, their second string right tackle, and their second string right guard once again in this game against.
These two O-lines are beat to high hell.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much more Mahomes can keep running for his life in these football games.
Bills on the road at the Patriots. T-Bone, you like the Pats?
I like Patriots. I know you think it's more about their schedule for the record. I think they're a legitimately good football team, and I think they're better than the Buffalo Bills.
Alex?
I like the Patriots.
Man, I'm alone on this one, huh? Okay. That's going to be one that I have to revisit. I do like the Bills side of things there, but...
Go with your gut, though, man. I could see the Bills winning this one because the Patriots...
It's a pick 'em. It's a 1-point favorite, so...
Yeah, this is the toss-up. But, the Patriots have had a cupcake schedule. So this is going to be a challenge. And, frankly, if you're the Bills, you're in desperation mode, too.
They beat Buffalo in Buffalo, which makes me feel better about their chances at home this week around.
The Commanders are on the road at the Giants. Giants are a 2.5-point favorite in this game.
I think I would take the Giants.
Yeah, I think I would, too.
Yeah, Jackson Dart versus that defense, yeah.
I've got the Giants as well, but I was a little surprised to see that their
Commanders aren't good anymore.
Yeah, they're not even, Daniels isn't even he's not even practicing now anymore.
They're just
Raiders
not
are on the
good.
road at the Eagles. We all like the Eagles.
Yeah, if I should have had that survivor, if the Bucs would have, got their heads out of what.
Packers at the Broncos. You guys know what it is. It's a Friday.
No,
That's
you
not
know
a
what
Sunday.
it is.
That means that I think the Packers are good at football. Do you guys think that they will continue to be good at football when this game is played on Sunday? Green Bay is a 2.5-point road favorite at Denver.
I hate your love for the Packers, but I hate Bo Picks more, so I would say the Packers.
I like the Broncos in this one. I think their defense is going to make life living hell for Jordan Love. His best weapon's not playing, and Tucker Kraft, who's done for the year. Like, Love looked good last week. That's the only game I've seen him look good since Kraft got hurt. I think the Broncos are going to make it tough on him.
Go the under.
And I think Bo Picks, as you call him, Bo Nix, is going to play fine. I think he's going to do enough against that Packers defense, which is just okay.
I think Micah Parsons is going to make Bo Picks' life a living hell.
That's my concern. Bo Nix, whenever he's pressured, he throws the ball away a ton.
And what happens when he does that?
Well, when he throws it away, it goes out of bounds and nothing happens. When he throws it into tight coverage, though, this year he's been getting away with it more often than he did last year. I think this might be one of those games, though, where the Packers can make him pay. Lions are on the road at the Rams. This is a really fun game. 325. The Rams are a 6-point home favorite in this one. That's a big spread, man. I do like the Rams to win, but I think that's a much bigger spread than I would prefer.
I like the Rams to win, but I would say the Lions +6.
See, I love the Rams on the spread.
Interesting.
I think they're going to pick apart that Lions defense, which is not very good. And I don't know that Goff is going to be able to keep up with them in a track meet. I love the Rams -6. It's going to be a play I play this weekend.
Panthers are on the road at the Saints. I'm taking the Panthers. I don't have a lot of confidence.
I don't know either.
It's going to make my life even more miserable when I see the Saints look terrible against the Panthers when the Bucs couldn't stop them for,
Yeah, I'd go Panthers.
Panthers also saw the Buccaneers lose, so blood in the water there. They're going to be motivated.
The Colts are on the road at the Seahawks. Seahawks. Cool. Titans on the road at the 49ers. 49ers?
Yeah.
Okay. Vikings.
These games aren't as exciting as you made them seem.
Vikings on the road at the Cowboys.
I don't care what J.J. McCarthy just did. Cool, congrats. I think the Cowboys are a better team.
Vikings defense makes me nervous. I always struggle picking their games because Flores just make things really tough. I've got the Cowboys. I think they will win this game. I do think that the 6-point spread is maybe a little bit much. Like on FanDuel, the Cowboys are a 6.5-point favorite. That's aggressive.
I don't trust J.J. McCarthy. I don't trust it at all. It really comes down to what George Pickens does Dallas get. Because if George Pickens gives up on routes, then they're probably going to lose.
And then the last game, Dolphins. This is on the Monday night game.
I won't be watching this one.
Dolphins at the Steelers. T.J. Watt had
collapsed lung.
Punctured and collapsed lung from a dry needling incident that took place
going on?
In the Steelers facility. So they don't know when or if he's going to be back. The Dolphins are a slight underdog, about 3-point underdog on the road at the Steelers. I like the Dolphins to win this.
I like the Steelers. It's going to be freezing cold in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
How often do the Dolphins do well in cold?
That's fair.
How often do the Steelers do well regardless?
Fine, but I don't trust that. The only reason the Dolphins have been winning lately is because they've been putting up points, and I don't think Tua can put up points in that frigid cold temperature.
All right, so the games that are ultimately going to decide this week, in my opinion, Ravens at the Bengals, Chargers at the Chiefs, Bills at the Patriots, Packers at the Broncos, and then Dolphins at the Steelers. I think those 5 games will determine who the winner is and who the loser is. And it's going to be a matter of like, do you go 3-2 or 4-1 in those flip games potentially on this weekend slate? And I'm like going head to head against T-Bone in all of these games. Basically, we don't see eye to eye on really any of them.
Shocker.
So,
you and I not agreeing on something. It happens a lot.
It'll be interesting. It should be a fun slate though. There are some really important and meaningful games. The Chiefs have their backs against the wall once again. Bills Patriots is potentially for the AFC East crown. Bills have to win this game to even be in contention for that. Packers Broncos is huge for both teams. Both for the Packers to potentially get the Broncos to get the number 1 seed, Packers to stay alive in that NFC North race, and then Lions Rams is a massive game for both teams as well. Number 1 seed for the Rams, Lions staying alive for the postseason. So huge, significant stakes galore going on this weekend. Coming up in about 15 minutes, we'll get into the rewind. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line for One's Gotta Go here on BK and Ferrario.
101 ESPN is powered by Kaufman Townsley, St. Louis's injury lawyers. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
Blues fans, get ready. The Last Minute Blues podcast is going live at Hot Shots in Fenton this Tuesday from 6 to 7:30, all in support of Operation Food Search.
Bring a canned or non-perishable food item and score one of the brand new Last Minute Blues podcast stickers. Donate big and you'll have the chance to win big, like a signed Jordan Bennington jersey, tickets to multiple upcoming Blues home games, and even a chance to potentially play our game Good Puck, Bad Puck for a shot at an autographed puck signed by either a current Blues favorite or a not-so-favorite from the past.
From 6 to 6:45, we're going to be collecting cans and giving stuff away. And then at around 6:45, you can hang out with me, Jeremy Rutherford, and Donnie Fandango as we host a live edition of the Last Minute Blues podcast featuring our special guest, former Blue Tony Twist.
Plus, Hot Shots will have drink specials during the event, so come thirsty and come ready to talk Blues hockey with the guys while also helping families in need.
Get all the details on the live Last Minute Blues podcast happening this Tuesday at Hot Shots Fenton, now at 101ESPN.com. The Last Minute Blues podcast is presented by Blue Note Roofing.
BetMGM is now available in Missouri. Sports fans in Missouri can sign up for BetMGM using my bonus code Francis, that's Francis, and get up to $1,500 paid back in bonus bets if their first bet doesn't win. Enjoy a betting app that was designed for game day. Going to the game? In honor of our launch in Missouri, we'll be at the Chiefs games on Sunday, December 7th and Sunday, December 14th. Come find our trailer and enjoy live meet and greets with Chiefs alumni, swag giveaways, free hot beverages, and more. Can't join the action in person? Download the BetMGM app, now available in Missouri. BetMGM, make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only, Missouri only. New customer offers subject to eligibility requirements. Minimum deposit of $10 to participate. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly.
Report. Your front row seat to all things Cardinals. From the dugout to the diamond, BK and T-Bone go deep with the latest news, notes, and analysis. Watch the Redbird Report on YouTube or listen online at 101ESPN.com. 101 ESPN Sports Center.
Blackhawks breeze into Enterprise. I'm Bradford Bruns. Your Sports Center update is powered by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Having shut out New York on Wednesday, Chicago enters tonight's bout versus St. Louis, occupying fourth place standings-wise. Puck drop happening at 7 p.m. as STL seeks a bounce-back performance. Nashville just steamrolled the note 7-2. Robbie Fabry did register his first Blues assist since 2019. College hoops, Mizzou staves off Alabama State 85-77. Jacob Cruz leading all Tigers scores with 20 points. Meanwhile, MU football's 2026 slate includes 7 home dates, Oklahoma rather than Arkansas, hitting Memorial Stadium November 28th. The Sports Center update was brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
This is BK and Ferrario on 101 ESPN. Broadcasting live from the E&B Granite Studios at the Centene Community Ice Center. Presented by Bud Light and Skimmer's Original Vodka Iced Tea on 101 ESPN. This is BK and Ferrario. Time now for One's Gotta Go. We offer up the talking points, and you get to pick which one's gotta go on 101 ESPN.
Count that big pen.
Alongside Alex and T-Bone on BK, it's BK and Ferrario here on 101 ESPN. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. 401's got to go. You give us 4 options. We'll tell you which one's got to go here on BK and Ferrario. All right, let's start out with this one. Guys, one's got to go. Cheaters edition in sports. Astros with the trash cans. Lance Armstrong with the doping. Michigan with their issues with sign stealing and everything, or the Patriots, Spygate, Deflategate, etc.
I think everybody in St. Louis would say the Patriots one. I'm actually going to go Lance Armstrong.
Because everybody else was doing it. You have to go to like 50th overall to see the first person that didn't dope. Or you mean he's the worst?
I mean he's the worst of them all. Because like everyone's wearing the Live Strong bracelets. He was such a motivating figure. And then all of that stuff comes out. It's like, you got to be kidding me. Yeah. That's what I meant by it. If we're talking about getting rid of him all, like he was the worst of the bunch. Yeah. Although this Michigan one's pretty bad.
Yeah, I think I would agree. Because he became such a public figure.
I wore that Live Strong bracelet for
everybody
years.
Enjoyed it. It turned out he was a fraud of an athlete. So
a lot of good came out of that. I mean, I'm being serious. For as much of a fraud as he was, and dude, the documentary that came out on him, like that guy sucked.
That really deteriorated it.
100%. There was at least some positives that came out of it. Whereas
for sure.
Some of these others, I got nothing good to say about it. If we're going the worst of the 4, I would probably, like, the Astros were the most, like,
egregious.
Damn. That's wild. The Patriots one, the Deflategate thing, I just do not care.
Yeah, I
do not care at all. The Michigan, if we're just talking about the sign stealing thing, again, I do not care at all. The Astros one was wild.
Especially the like Mike on his chest and not ripping his jersey off. That one was rough.
One's got to go. Blues players. Shin, Falk, Benner, or Joseph. I don't know how Joseph gets in here.
Yeah. What's Joseph catching the stray? He's been the best of that group, probably.
I'd probably go Falk, and it's only because of what they have in their system right now. Juracek, I think, is going to be supposed to be a stud. So
I'll back you on that. One's got to go. Blues edition. Another one.
T-Bone would have said Joseph.
From Harrison's brother,
Joseph.
Master. Kyrou, Thomas, Booch, or Parayko.
I would say Booch.
Yeah, I would say Booch.
Can I be honest? Tom is a very close second.
Yeah,
same.
I think I'm right there with you.
And the reason I say that for Thomas, because at least I know that Kyrou gets a lot of the heat, including from his own.
Hey, Kyrou hasn't been playing in these last couple of games that they've been called up for their effort and being soft.
Yeah. And Kyrou, for the most part, like I can write and pen what he's going to be on a year. Thomas is the one that fluctuates. consistently.
See, I think I could write down what his is. It's just the ceiling doesn't get to what you thought it was. Booch is the one that fluctuates.
From the 636, one's got to go Christmas Eve dinner edition. Lobster tails, beef tenderloin, king crab, or prime rib.
King crab. Get the hell. I hate crab. The smell of it. Who does this for Christmas?
A lot of people do stuff
I've never heard of that.
I've never heard of any of those.
I've done king crab. My dad did it one year.
Ham. That's what you have for Christmas.
Lobster tails is the one that I've just...
I love lobster tails. You gotta grill them, though.
I would prefer king crab over lobster tails, personally.
I hate crab.
Yeah, I would give it a lobster tail.
Plus, there's nothing... Oh, God, just watching people like...
swell up like a balloon if you had the king crab, though?
Yeah.
He eats fake crab.
But before I had... before we knew I had a shellfish allergy, I really enjoyed eating crab. Just shellfish.
Made your throat swell up.
Well, no, it didn't happen until I got older. Like when I was a kid, I would eat like
an
shrimp
EpiPen
and
nearby.
crab. Yeah, but now I...
Plus, watching people like eat crabs or like breaking it and like slurp. Oh, God.
All
no.
right, last one here. One's got to go soup edition, if you want to call it that. Chili, chicken noodle, tortilla, or ham and beans.
Ham and beans. That sounds awful.
Totally agree. I do not like ham and beans.
That sounds terrible.
Ham and beans is good.
Because ham you put on your deli sandwiches all the time with your Kraft cheese.
I would get rid of tortilla. That would be the one I would get rid of.
God, I love the chicken tortilla soup.
That's what I'm out on.
Chili's has an incredible one.
That's what we got.
Good talk. Chili's not a soup, by the way, but cool. Way to go.
I'm in agreement. That's why I said it on the front
You put clam chowder on there, I'd get rid of clam chowder.
Oh, that's disgusting. Broccoli cheddar, too.
Oh, I love broccoli
I don't
cheddar.
mind clam chowder. You know who has the worst clam chowder?
Are you about to throw under the bus?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Boston. Boston's clam chowder is terrible. I don't think anybody told them that in 2025 we are indeed allowed to use seasoning. Like salt and pepper, guys, you could use it. You can throw it in there if you want. They're clinging to their like 1765.
Maybe you
clam
just
chowder.
went to the wrong place.
I think you're ordering the wrong thing. It's not clam
It was
chowder.
so bad.
It's clam chowder.
I just think you went to the wrong place for it.
I would
Alongside
imagine
Alex
people in
T-Bone,
Boston like salt.
I'm BK. It's
Yeah.
BK and Ferrario here on 101 ESPN. I wouldn't be so sure about that. Coming up next, the Rewind.
Aaron Sweater Market.
Sunday morning, it's an NFL triple header. Game 1, Bears and Browns. Game 2, Rams and Lions. Game 3, Cowboys and Vikings. Coverage starts at 11. Your destination for the NFL in St. Louis is 101 ESPN. ESPN has your chance to win a 4-pack of passes to Monster Jam. January 17th and 18th at the Dome at America Center. Get ready to cheer, scream, and be amazed as massive Monster Jam trucks and world champion drivers take over St. Louis for the ultimate day packed with high-flying action and jaw-dropping stunts. Get all the info and enter to score a free 4-pack of tickets for Monster Jam now at 101ESPN.com or on your 101 mobile app. Live from the Centene Community Ice Center inside the E&B Granite Studios, you're tuned into BK and Ferrario on 101 ESPN. Presented by Bud Light and Skimmer's Original Vodka Iced Tea on 101 ESPN. Let's run it back with the Daily Rewind on BK and Ferrario. Brought to you by Gloria Lou, your home sold guaranteed realty. Selling your home begins at GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
I'm BK. It's BK and Ferrario here on 101 ESPN. If you guys missed anything from today's show, be sure to check it out on the podcast page, 101ESPN.com, and the free 101 ESPN app is where you go to find it. It's all sponsored by
Schaefer Door Company.
That 101 ESPN app is super easy to use. It is free to download, and it's sponsored by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Alex will finish out the show the way we began, which is with the St. Louis Blues, who lost 7-2 last night. Their captain came out afterwards and said, we were soft in front of their net. We were soft in front of our own net. This is 1 week following the coach coming out against the Boston Bruins saying the team lacked effort. They are now 11, 14, and 7 on the season. They have the third best odds in the NHL to get the #1 overall selection. What have we learned from the Blues, Alex, after watching them over the last week in which they played 5 games in 8 days?
That this team is not good. I mean, I hate saying it because I'm the biggest believer that a team could turn it around, but man, it's not even a coaching problem or anything like that. This is just the players' commitment to playing a style of hockey that wins. And Shen was absolutely correct. You were soft in your own end. They had scoring chances early on, but you weren't dominating the front of the net. And then in your own end, the 6 of the 7 goals that went in, Blues just got beaten puck battles. And the ups and downs of this season, to where a couple of games you'll see them like they played against the Ottawa Senators earlier this season, like they played against the Edmonton Oilers. They play games to where they are heavy. They are physical. Some of this is injuries. Some of this is just the Blues not playing committed to the style that needs to win. And I think that's the biggest telling sign. You can look at it and say, well, let's see what the response is tonight. To me, the response tonight doesn't matter because they've been called out before. They'll respond. And then 2 games later, they revert back to their old ways.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say about the team at this point. I think we've put it all out there. This is not a good hockey team. Yeah. They don't do anything well. They don't defend. They don't score. They don't have great goaltending. They don't do anything well. I'm not blaming Jim Montgomery for this. He's a good hockey coach. The personnel is a problem.
Well, to that point, Mike brought it up, and it's a great point. Jim Montgomery basically said yesterday, we had a film session this morning illustrating he had said we had 5 different chunks of film showing how we were getting beat in front of our own net and how to get beat in front of their net. And all of that film went for naught that night against the team that they were preparing for.
It's just not good. Blues back in action tonight against the Chicago Blackhawks. Pregame with Alex starts at 6. Puck drop for that one. Chicago versus St. Louis at 7 o'clock. By the way, the only local coverage that you can get for that game is right here on your home of the Blues, 101 ESPN. It's a national game on ESPN+, so if you want to hear the local coverage of that, you got to tune in right here on 101 ESPN. On the college basketball side of things, it was a rough one last night for Mizzou. They did get a win, but it was ugly, and they did so against Alabama State. They just can't get consistent stops, and offensively, they're fine. They're not what they have been in their really great years in recent seasons. They only have 2 or 3 guys really that they can count on with any sort of consistency. It's Ant Robinson, Mark Mitchell, Jacob Cruz. I just don't think this team has it in them. I'm not sure this is a tournament team, and I hate the way that they schedule. Illinois is back in action this weekend.
Other than that.
Yeah. I hate the way they schedule.
Illinois back in action on Saturday. They take on Nebraska. T-Bone, Nebraska's a legit top 25 team right now. They have a pretty good offense, a great defense. Are you concerned at all about going up against the 10-0 Cornhuskers?
A little bit, because they like to play a little fast, and we saw that Illinois had a little bit of trouble with that against Alabama. They want to try and dictate the tempo because they don't want to go up and down the floor. That's my only real concern in this game. I still think they're going to win, though. I think they'll win by like 5.
I think so as well. I'll check what the line is in this one. Illinois is an 8.5-point favorite.
Oh, that
Vegas
feels high.
really likes
Good teams win. Great teams what?
Cover.
The Cardinals might be able to fill the void that exists currently in the trade market. We gave our full thoughts on that earlier today. Jim Bowden basically saying, hey, nobody in Major League Baseball wants prospects right now. Woo! The Cardinals would love to have your prospects, and they've got a whole heck of a lot of major leaguers that they can offer in return. It sounds like there is at least some buzz on Contreras as a possible option for the Boston Red Sox. So we will certainly be staying apprised with all of that over the weekend. Looking forward to talking with you guys about it. If anything goes down over the weekend, we will have you covered right here on 101 ESPN on Monday. For Bradford Bruns, who did a fantastic job for us back in the studio today, and Alex Ferrario, Tanner Hendrickson, I'm Brandon Kiley. We've been broadcasting from the E&B Granite Studios out at the Centene Community Ice Center. Everybody have a fantastic weekend. We'll talk to you on Monday. The Fast Lane is next here on 101 ESPN.
Do you have what it takes to beat the Blues? Tune into BK and Ferrario every week for your shot to take on a member of your St. Louis Blues. And you can win a signed puck and tickets to an upcoming game.
Can You Beat the Blues is presented by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.